Hello, everybody, and welcome to URS. We are here once again for round four, season three of the league. And now it is Bahrain for the sprint and the race. Something a little bit different this time. If you're just joining us, I am Ryan Ocon 31, and today I am joined by Burning Man.
Hello there.
Someone different. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. You're joined by a Brit to do commentating.
Well, you haven't commentated here before. I don't even think you've
No, I've
commentated
never
in general
I've never
before.
commentated.
Good to have you. What are
Yeah.
you kind of feeling into this?
Well, I hope that I don't mess up. I hope that I don't make the stream boring.
There you go. There you go. Well, streams and socials, it's there. Brute Gorgon, I think he's just joining. So I needed a response from him. After that, we'll get going.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, for some reason in the check-in, I can't actually see all the like replies to it, so I can't see who needs
Okay.
invites or
I
not.
will put I'll put read message history there in a
Yeah,
moment.
yeah,
I
yeah.
meant to change that
Yeah, yeah,
setting,
yeah.
but
Just letting you know.
when it comes to the past week, I mean, you raced last week in Silverstone. Um, Tell us a little bit about I mean, I don't know if you watched the stream afterwards, but tell us a little bit about the last couple laps. Tell the viewers a little bit about it.
Um, it was interesting. Good, good racing. Uh, what wasn't there like
Probably don't remember a whole lot.
Probably not. There was like a
Are you
crash.
on the spot?
No, I can't. Yeah, no, I didn't watch the stream afterwards. Once I was pretty much out, I pretty much just decided, nah, can't be asked.
Well, it was Sam who got the puncture on the last lap. Pluto who
But we got
won. He
punched
won
on the
two in a
last
row.
lap.
Yep, yep,
Oh yeah, I saw that
and
Pluto got the race win.
yep. And if you can, while I quickly figure out the situation with Brute and Doughboy,
Yeah.
go over the drivers and constructor standings.
Right. Let me quickly get it up. Right, so the drivers, Pluto is on top, 20 points ahead of Sam Steed. So he's looking like he's already starting to run away with it. With Kostak in third, Joseph in fourth. So the two Alpha Tauris right up there together. Obviously, Pluto's doing good for Haas, but then his teammate Brute Gorgon isn't doing too good with only 4 points. So it's looking like so far Pluto's carrying Haas. But I mean, Pluto's good, so I think he's going to be good in this race, I reckon. And then obviously Kostag quite regularly battles Pluto, so maybe he could win. But I reckon Pluto's good in the driver. Then the problem with Haas and the constructors is the fact that Brute isn't scoring many points, is it?
Also, one thing you need to change in the lobby settings, you
Yes.
need to make sure you, no, never mind, it's on approximate. I thought it was on perfect. Never mind. I
Oh,
just want to
okay.
make sure quickly. I'm going through the lobby settings, then we'll ready up right after. I'm just making sure everything is correct
Yeah,
before we get going.
yeah.
I will get Brute in here now. Once Brute is in here, we'll go. I'm just making sure everything with the settings is
Yeah.
right. Alright, we should be good. Once Brute joins, he'll be good.
Yep.
Once Brute joins, we'll go.
Yep.
And he'll be in Haas. Also, you might want to go over the penalties to be served a little
Ah,
bit there,
yes,
Brennerman.
penalties. Uh, don't. Are there any penalties?
That is in
Yeah.
updates. I don't know if you can see that.
Updates.
I don't think you can.
No, I don't think I can.
So it's just Alistair with the 6-second penalty with or 6 seconds of penalties for this weekend actually, but yeah. That is the penalties to be served.
Yeah, no, I couldn't see them.
And Burning Man, you raced Bahrain last season. Last season we saw a championship decider as well. Want to talk a little bit about that? I know your race wasn't too great, but
Yeah,
your
that
good
was
friend Atlantis won his first race.
yeah, he did quite good. Obviously, the whole collision with Riles and James, which secured championship for Davis, I think. Was it Davis? Yeah. Obviously the crash between them two. Obviously not James's fault. I think it annoyed a couple people though. But
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, the race weren't good for me. Yeah, no, obviously James did quite good that one. But is he? He's not in the lobby today, is he?
No,
No. Okay.
no. So and Davis isn't either, so we won't get a
Ooh.
repeat winner of Bahrain.
Yeah, it's going to be quite good then.
Yeah, maybe. And we'll get forward with full qualifying as well. A couple people will go over who have first starts and reserve appearances. But yeah, last season we saw this as the championship decider. The season before we had this as round 4, and it's round 4 again this season. So I find that a bit ironic in itself.
I reckon it's going to be a good race though. 'Cause there's a lot of overtaking
It
opportunities.
probably will. Probably will. Not only that, but well, yeah. First start reserve appearances here in just a moment. Doughboy will be joining in mid-qualifying, so if he needs an invite, you might want to check main chat there.
Yep.
And I know a couple people asked about being updated on the NASCAR race because they are not able to watch it while racing, which is maybe why we don't have quite a lot of viewership as of right now. But for those curious and wondering, Alex Bowman leading the race. And with the playoff standings, Ryan Blaney and Truex are in the playoffs since there's no new winner as of right now. So just thought I'd put that out there for those who are watching, those who wanted to know. But apparently, I don't know if this is true or not, rain in the sprint, but I'm going to wait to confirm that from other drivers. I doubt that's true.
Yeah, Alpine's
we'll
going
see.
out.
So before we talk about the Alpine going out, Burning Man, let's go over the people making their first starts or even returning. So or reserving too. So by the way, with driver changes this past weekend, CJ stepped down from being full time. With that said, Aaron Ocon replaces him at Ferrari. Will Cromack ends up or not Will Cromack, sorry. TJR ends up going full-time alongside Will Cromack. That's his new teammate right there. Not only that, but since TJR won't be racing this week, he wasn't able to make it. It will be Doughboy and the Red Bull. He's able to join the lobby. Blue Goggy was out last week. He is returning. Toneless Death and the McLaren as a reserve, and GSR Riles in the Alpine as a reserve as well. So there you have it. There's your first starts and reserve appearances for this race. A lot to expect. So Riles on an outlap, and if it's true there's rain in the sprint, which I would doubt, but considering Riles is that much. Joe just mentioned that in main chat, but I mean considering what's it called? I meant to say considering Riles was out that early and he was one of the only ones that far ahead, I do think it could be true, but I'll wait for other drivers to vouch in on that. It's very rare for it to rain in a desert, but here we go. Riles is going to start the first lap here, Burning Man.
Yep.
Let's watch on board with him in this hot lap. Let's see what he can do in his reserve appearance. It's, I believe, a third reserve appearance for him this season, but a lot of seats available. 5 full-time drivers missing today's race. And let's see, Riles into turn 1. Gonna clip a little bit of that curb. Gonna go to the inside. Not gonna clip that curb, but gonna go second gear. Now gonna go up, and the traction can't be full throttle completely there. Had to let off it a little bit. Now inside curb, turn 3. DRS applied. Down the run, down to turn 4. What's this gonna be like for Riles as he is about to end sector 1? Brakes at the 100-meter board. Clips the inside curb just a little bit. Yellow flags at the end of the start of someone's lap. But Riles, sector 1, 28.8. That is purple, considering he's the only one to do a lap so far. Pretty careful through the S's. And very easy to start this. Turn 8, second gear, up the gears, third gear, fourth gear, gonna go below 60% of the battery. Now down to turn 9 and 10. Careful to brake. Don't clip that outside curb because it could be an auto spin curb. Turn 10, DRS now. Yellow flags, I believe that's an Alfa Romeo. That is Blue Gagi. Anyway, Riles at the end of sector 2 here. Now turn 11, fourth gear here. Very careful on the throttle. You could easily lose the rear. Up the hill now. May let off a little bit. Yep. Very careful. Doesn't know how the setup could be. Testing that out so far. 109, 108, 0. And sector 2. Careful through there as well. He may go for another run, considering the way it's going, and considering there's 17 drivers in here right now. There will only be 2 out. Final corner now for Riles. What's this going to be like? Clipping the outside curb. Inside curb won't be. And now, on the run to the start-finish line, Riles will complete this lap with 25% and lower battery DRS applied. It'll be a 30.5. That is your benchmark time for Q1 so far.
Well, Communist has already improved on his first sector. He's faster than Riles. It's just going into towards the end of the second sector now.
Let's see.
That's Feistcracker's the next to finish.
Also, Polo God is about to start a lap. Burning Man, I'm gonna go on board Polo God here in the Aston Martin and see how this is. I mean, you have a bit of feeling on that Aston Martin. Maybe not realistic cars, but yeah, Racecracker 29.8 there. Go on board with Polo.
Yep. Fine. It's going quite... Oh, shit.
You're all good. On the run down to turn 4, though. Fourth gear. I mean, you know what? I kind of have to wonder, though. You know, 29-0 through the first sector. I mean, what do you expect of these drivers? I mean, you look at the S's, you look at the big section of the hill. I mean, are they going to have to be more careful where they push it? Because, I mean, you know how Bahrain can be. You know how the cars are much more different. You know, especially with the setups, too. I mean...
Oh, he spun. Polo's
how much more... Oh... That's turn 9, turn 10, the auto spin curb. How much... Like I said right there, how much more careful are they going to have to be?
They're going to have to be very careful into that curb. Because like you said, if you touch that, it's pretty much around. Which obviously Polo now knows. Oh, someone else has gone wide there, I think.
Yeah. Also... Those tuning into the NASCAR race, the big one has happened at Daytona, involving multiple cars. So, for those who were not able to catch that, there you go. Especially if you're even in the pits too. I know a couple people are in the pits, so you know.
Who's the next to finish?
Will Cromack is about to start a lap. There's going to be a couple people who finished, but only 4 have set times so far.
Obviously Polo can improve from that for quite a bit, because obviously if he didn't spin.
Will Cromack into turn 1. Now turn 2, turn 3, DRS can be applied. Now 8 drivers have set times. Polo, not really much of a representative time. Sam, Toneless, both set times so far. Riles also had a Toneless, the 2 reserves. Blue Gagi set a time that's 3rd fastest. You know, I have to sort of wonder here, Brian Man. You know, looking at everything regarding this race, regarding the sprint, do people really care where they qualify too much in this? Are they too worried about qualifying? What do you kind of feel on that?
Well, because of the sprint, obviously, anyone, if they qualify anywhere, then it doesn't really matter, because obviously if they get a good start in the sprint, then for all we know, someone could qualify 18th and then go first anyway because of the sprint. So,
exactly.
Really, I'd say this qualifying doesn't matter too much. It matters a bit, because obviously if you're down dead last, even if you get a good start, you won't gain a lot of spaces.
Will Cromack, 7-7 through sector 2. He's returning after a little holiday he had. Also set a time. I believe someone else did. There's 9 times on the board now. Lando did. Lando is ahead of Sam, so he goes ahead there. Also, a couple people about to start laps soon. A couple people on laps. Now, Will Cromack comes to the checkered flag. Will go fastest in Q1. There you go. So, fastest Q1. 29.8. Not bad. Not bad from him. You know, and that's the sort of thing, too. You got to prepare yourself for the sprint race because, you know, people might go the mediums considering it's only a 10-lap race because the softs tend to die over a couple laps. You may not want to go softs because although they last like 10 laps, they are really worn and you might be passed toward the end, especially how close this league is to Brennan, man.
I think Kostak has just started his lap.
Yup, there we go into turn 1. Give us a little detail to where Kostak's thinking here. I mean, he has had some good qualifying to start the season. He's had some bad qualifying to start the season. If you're Kostak here, especially with where he's at in the championship, what, 3rd, 4th area? I mean, you have to sort of wonder. There's the yellow flag in the back. You have to sort of wonder, as he sets a 28.7 sector, when you have to sort of wonder, what kind of mindset is he going to take? Is he more so going to try to push for those sprint race points and start up front? Or is he going to look at the big picture here, Brennan? What do you kind of think? Is Lando's
out.
Crashed out? Maybe a controller disconnect, wheel disconnect, whatever.
Yeah,
maybe.
it just seemed
But go ahead.
it seemed like a weird place to crash. But I reckon Kostak's probably going to try for at least top 10, and then if he gets a good, because obviously Kostak likes to dive quite a lot. But if he gets a good finish in the sprint race, that will help him quite a lot in the championship. So obviously it's only a couple points, but those points will still help, and then it also gives him a better starting position for the main race. So if I was any driver, I'd try and focus on both. Like maybe forget qualifying a bit, not massively, but only a bit, because obviously you want to do good in that sprint race because it gives you a better starting position, so better choice. Third.
3rd in Q1. 3rd as of right now. He'll advance. And Wingo also is on an outlap. He returns this season. You know, I mean, you probably remember him a little bit from those couple of reserve appearances you did last season. Wingo reserved last season the Alfa Romeo. Or not, sorry, not reserved last season the Alfa Romeo. Raced last season the Alfa Romeo. He's reserving this season and is taking over for J&T today. Now Joseph about to start a lap in the AlphaTauri. Let's go on board with him. Let's see what he can do to complete this lap and complete it very well, because he has not yet set a time so far in this session, and everyone who has set a time really close on the board, a representative time at least. Now through turn 1, Joseph clips the curb a little bit. There's a little bit of trouble there on the entrance, but to turn 2, turn 3, it's looked nice so far. Applies DRS. Now on the run down to turn 4, 100-meter board, he's going to brake. Very heavy on the braking, but careful on the throttle with the exit. Clips the curb there on the turn 4 exit. 29.2 in the first sector, not so great, but you know what, considering he knows how many drivers will advance, you know, or be knocked out. Lando already going to be knocked out. He's going to probably take it easy here. So, turn 9, turn 10. He's going to apply DRS. Ferdinand, I'll let you take over for the rest of this lap, and Joseph.
Yeah.
Here.
Spun slightly, that's going to ruin his lap.
There you go, so he's going to have to back out of that one. Yeah. Rather go for another one, or we'll see. Wingo's also on a lap right now. Well, Chromac is going back out again as well. So a lot of movement in the session with the drivers. As we notice, there have been now 15 drivers to set a time. And Lando Norris, by the way, might get an interview with him. What do we think about that, Brendan? Get an interview with him? Maybe? Because he's crashed out of the session.
Yeah, he's crashed out. Ask him about it. All went well.
Alright. Also, we'll have to focus on Doughboy because we'll have to maybe get him an invite. But Wingo is going to come to the line. I don't think it'll be a representative lap. He may have had an issue. Joseph sets a lap time, but not a representative one. Let me find Lando. We'll talk to him about what happened there. I'm kind of curious as to what did happen. We'll talk to him. Joseph also, I think, is starting another lap, actually, because of what happened to him. He may try to at least get one lap in here. 28.9, so it is an improvement in the first sector for Joseph. Joseph goes to the X section now. Now to turn 8. Oh, I think he locked up a little bit, did he?
I don't know.
Might have.
He did
now
go
turn
purple.
9.
He did go purple in sector 1, so maybe this could be a very good lap.
Definitely improvement chance for it. Now DRS. Battery really low, which may give him a disadvantage. Brute, Joe, they're currently out of qualifying right now, third times. Alistair yet to settle up. Alistair, 6 seconds into this race, he has to serve. 2
Brute
seconds
is back
up on his
out
time,
as well.
Joseph is. Smart from him. Oh, Joseph spins! Is he going to be out, though?
No,
he
he's
luckily
fine, he's
keeps
fine.
it in. Alright, so he may have wing damage in the rear, which he'll need to go repair, and he can go do that and still be safe, I think. So we'll see.
Yeah, don't know what went wrong for Brute, but he backed out of his lap.
Yeah. And Alistair is on a lap now. One of the only drivers on a lap at the top of the board, though. Will Comac, Ricecracker. Ricecracker, you know, Berneman, we've not seen a lot from Ricecracker at the start of this season. Is this a chance for him to recover today, you think, maybe?
Maybe.
Turn the season around?
He could be quite good at this track.
Yeah, I mean, he got his best finish here last season, so is that maybe a motivation, like, helper, I guess?
Yeah, probably is. So he knows that he's quite good at this track then. That's his best finish.
Yeah, definitely. Joe on an out lap. Sam Steed coming back out. Kostek thinks he's safe. Pluto thinks the same. Jeb thinks the same. 7-5 in sector 2 for Alistair.
Fastest
There you
in
go.
sector 2.
So you know that he'll take the pole point. He'll try to take the most points he can in the sprint, because at 6 seconds will be served in the race. Ricecracker retires. Blugagi retires. They think they're safe. They should be safe considering what we've seen so far. Com is safe as well. Alistair comes to the line.
Alistair.
It'll be fastest by a 10th. There you go. So, 10th ahead. As of right now, Polo God thinks he's safe in 9th.
Gorgon's making his way out.
That would be good for him as well, considering he's about to be eliminated if he doesn't improve. Sam's also on the cutoff. Let's watch him, because that'll be important. Well, Chromac thinks he's safe. Alistair knocked out Joseph with that time. We know Lando will be eliminated based off of being out from crashing, but will he be eliminated based off pace as well? Because there could be a chance for that. He's currently on pace. He'd set 14th. Here's Sam, though, starting a lap right now in his McLaren. We've seen him not make Q3 at all this season. This is his chance to change that around today. Sam into turn 1. Very careful of the way he enters it. Up the gears now, 4th gear. Very careful on traction, especially with this car, because he said it's been hard to qualify in this car. We'll see how much that is shown. Now, through turn 4, 4th gear, 75% and lower on the battery. What's this going to be like through sector 1? 0.2 of an improvement. So that is good for him to get himself above the cusp. And now, as there was purple, I don't know if that's a fake purple or not, but he'll have to find time through the rest of sector 2, which I want to say will definitely benefit his wheel a bit more. Now here, you can't clip that all spin curb on the outside. He done a good job not hitting that. Aaron's on a lap, or about to be. Riles is thinking he's safe. Same with his teammate, Alistair.
Oh yeah, I'd be surprised if Alistair somehow got knocked out, even though there's not many people left.
Oh, I know. I mean, but the rest of them below him could. And Riles is someone who could. 4/10 of an improvement through sector 2 for Sam. So this is looking better as of right now. Chad, give us your predictions. Who's going to be out in Q1? 1 minute remains. And Brute and Joe are on laps as well as Joseph, so this could be a bit of a concern. Aaron has retired, and I don't know if he's crashed out or not, but Sam comes to the line now. It's 9th, so it is an improvement, and he should be safe.
Yeah, he should be safe. Ooh, Joe doesn't improve much.
Joe does not. He's only 14th, but he is ahead of Lando and could knock Lando out in pace, so that may be something they're hoping to have happen. Brute up in his time right now. Joseph about to start a lap. Joseph and Wingo both about to start laps. Let's watch Joseph, because the guy who sits top 5-ish in the championship right now is not looking so great. Toneless, has he crashed out? Has he retired? I think there is a retirement for Toneless right there. And he could be knocked out depending on what happens here. Sam looks like he's safe for sure. Wingo, Joseph, Brute, all on the elimination zone right now. Brute is 21 seconds up on that time. So right now he'd go 16th, but let's see how much time is he going to gain through sector 3. Brute comes to the line now. What's it going to be? Joseph in a 10th of improvement, but Brute will go up to 15th. That's the checker flag complete for him. He looks like he's safe for now. However, Joseph and Wingo can still improve on their laps. Lando's knocked out on pace. Let's see what it's like for the rest of the guys now. Wingo also comes through turn 9 and 10. Joseph still looking to improve. He has to gain 16 plus seconds to get himself through. Joseph does. And right now it would be a Q1 elimination zone, or Q1 elimination if he cannot do anything about it. Wingo is well in the elimination zone. Joe right now looks like he can be safe, but all is coming down to the final moments of qualifying. Joseph through Sector 2 now. What's this going to be? 2 seconds of an improvement, so all that time is going to have to be found in Sector 3, where he spun earlier. Here's Joseph coming to the line. Wingo comes to the line first. What can Wingo do? Wingo is out. Wingo's out of Q1 once again. Joseph, can he go through? Joe looks like he's safe, but Joseph knocks Brute out. It is good. It is just enough. Joe invalidated, so he was a bit lucky there, but out in qualifying, out in Q1. Brute, Lando, and Wingo.
Pretty good lap. Pretty good lap by Joseph.
And it was enough just to get him through at the end of qualifying. Doughboy needs an invite, but at the top of the board, Alistair looks like he's good right now. Alistair, a 10th head of the field. Then you have Will Cromack, Ricecracker, Kostag, Calm rounding out the top 5. A lot of the top cars really benefiting right now. Behind that, Pluto, your championship leader, 6th in Q1. Then Joseph, Jab, Blue Goggy, and Sam rounding out the top 10. Polo, Aaron, Riles, Toneless, and Joe make it safe. And Burnerman go through who is out in qualifying.
Brute, Lando, and Wingo. With Wingo off by 2 seconds. Obviously, Lando crashed out.
A little bit of no line with not much practice. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And Brute obviously misses out by just about 1/10, which is very unlucky.
For those tuning into the NASCAR race, Justin Haley leading Daytona. You know, in NASCAR, you need a win to get in to the playoffs in the regular season. It's the final race of the regular season. That's why it's so important for a lot of these guys in here who focus on that. Someone who hasn't won a race this season so far has got their self right now in the lead and could potentially win the race. That's Justin Haley. And they restart with 26 to go for those trying to pay attention to that while racing. I know there was a couple people like Brute and Jab. They were wondering. Even Sam might. I know Sam tunes in every once in a while. A couple others do too. But there you go. There's your update on that. Not only that too, but, you know, now that we're through to Q2, Wingo, who last season was out of qualifying a lot. Out again. I'm not too surprised about that. Lando out in Q1. I'm not surprised about that either. However, does Brute kind of shock you as well, being the teammate of Pluto?
He may be the teammate of Pluto. He just hasn't scored a lot of points. Maybe
last week was his first, so
I would have probably expected him to get to Q2, but obviously when you're at the bottom, there's only one way to go, and that's up.
Exactly. Cars coming out for outlaps. We'll have to maybe get an interview in with someone who's knocked out, but I don't think it's looking good for Daytona with what's going on from what I can hear in my background from my dad. Oh boy. But anyway, cars coming out for Q2 to start. We'll maybe get an interview with one of the drivers, possibly. And we'll see if any of them do want an interview. It was Wingo, Brute, and Lando out, I believe. I mean, if Lando wants to join, we'll see at that point, but I don't think he has joined so far. Maybe get somebody in from Q2, we'll see. Cars coming out for outlaps. Riles, the first one on the track. And he'll be the first to start a lap here. Oh, whoa. Okay. Wow, this is getting close. Especially when you go to the closing stages of the race. You see the closing stages of the race in Saudi Arabia. I mean, you know, you kind of wonder at these races, even if it's IRL or not, how things turn out to be. But we'll focus on Riles here in just a moment. About to start a lap here. And looks like he can get himself into Q3. Alpine had a consecutive streak going until last week about getting into Q3 every single race since the end of Season 1. That ended last week with Alistair and Riles. This week, looking to get themselves in Q3. Riles now starts a lap.
So control the man out.
Oh, there they go. There they go. It's the big one at Daytona. Riles goes through turn 2. Now turn 3. And on the run down to turn 4. 8th gear. Now going to shift down to 5th, 4th, even 2nd gear down here. What's the time going to be in Sector 1? A lot of 28s, a lot of 29s at the beginning of last session. 28.8 right there.
Oh, Polo's
Now
around.
for turn 8. Polo is around, so that will affect his lap. He'll have to go for another one surely. Now, 44, 45 seconds into the lap. Turn 9, turn 10. What's Riles going to do here? You got to be careful about that outside curve. You could lose time from it, so we'll see what happens. For the rest of this lap, turn 11. Now up the hill to complete Sector 2 for Riles. This will be the benchmark time that everyone will have to beat. 108.2 through Sector 2. Down to the final corner for Riles. What's this gonna be? To the line. Maybe not the best of start, best of the laps to start, but it is a 30.7. That'll be the time everyone will have to beat. Next up is the Mercedes. I believe that is Com who will set a lap. He will go faster, 30.3. 3/10 faster. Car's completing a lap before Kostag. Yep, before Kostag starts a lap, it's 3/10 behind for him. Rice Cracker goes even faster, 29.8. There you go.
Oh.
Pluto also does go second. Someone else set a lap there. I believe that was Aaron. Aaron completed a lap. Now it'll be Kostag to start a lap here.
Blue Doggy.
Blue Goggy does go second. Are we seeing in his return a good race from Goggy that he could start start the season off by scoring some points? He didn't get to start off well in Australia. Got disqualified by the game. That glitch is now fixed, I believe. Kostag goes to turn 3, somehow keeping it valid right there.
His time. He must have spun around. 57.
Yeah, very not so representative time. Kostag through Sector 1 now. 28.8. This is really well from what we've seen so far. Now at the end of the S's. Very careful in the throttle. Very careful in how he does this. Now turn 8. 2nd gear. Up the gears. 3rd, 4th. So on. Now turn 9, turn 10. Got to be careful of that slippy outside curb. Not so committed to the inside line there, but very careful about how he can complete this lap. 11 drivers have set times, and right now, Polo and Joe in the elimination zone. Will Cromack goes fastest, 3/10 ahead. And he is really doing really well in his return as well. I mean, both Ricecracker, Goggy, both were, or sorry, not Ricecracker. Will Cromack, Goggy, both on holiday, and they return. They are really setting the benchmark. Maybe not some good laps, maybe careful the drivers were to start their laps, maybe. I don't know. But I'm sure that time will be beaten throughout Q2 and even into Q3. But Kostag comes to the final corner now. What's he going to set? Where's he going to be on the timing board? He will be 6th, 30.3 for him. Alright, spun around. That's Joe again. Alistair and Tonlos are about to start laps. We'll watch Alistair. Alistair with the 6 seconds. He's going to have to do a lot in order to make up that time in the race, especially in the sprint and the qualifying session. It is the self in itself. He starts a lap now. 13 drivers now setting times. Out right now would be Aaron Ocon. Joseph right on the elimination zone. Alistair into turn 1, clipping a lot of curb, using a lot of curb on the outside, not any on the inside, of course. Chat. Not a lot of guys not a lot of you guys are talking too much. Get your thoughts on what's going on right now. Now up into turn 4, 3rd gear, 4th gear, shifted up very quickly right there. 28.8 for Alistair. Now the S section, very careful in the curbing. He can just send it through here. I mean, he's been really, really good throughout the session. Got Q1 into Q2. Now Turn 10. Love to see what the cutoff time will be here. Right now it's 30.7. I think it will definitely be probably around the 30.5 area, 30.3 as times will improve. I'm sure everyone will have to go again at least at some point, considering where everyone is at. So what it makes you have to do in these sessions, you have to go again. You have to figure out, hey, like, you know, what do I want to do? Exactly. What 7.7? That. So will this be top of the board or not? Let's find out. Final corner for Alistair. Comes to the line now. What's this going to be? URS going to be applied. URS below 25. He will go 5th fastest. That may be safe. And now that puts the cutoff time, 30.6, I believe. No, 30.7. Still 30.7 is at the cutoff, so that may be the time they will have to beat. That may be the time that stays even. I don't know. I mean, maybe that time will go to 30.3. We'll have to see what goes on throughout the session. Still a long way to go. Toneless on a lap now. At the end of Sector 2, 8.2. Riles starting a lap now. Jeb about to start a lap. Pluto about to start a lap. Riles will focus on as he goes through turn 1. He's currently on the cutoff of getting eliminated. Let's see what happens here. Now through turn 4. Turn 5. How much of an improvement is this? 19 thousandths down, so he's going to have to do a little bit more. Everyone has set times in this session. Toneless went 11th fastest, just behind Riles, so the elimination zone will definitely be one to watch out for. Red flag in the NASCAR race for those wondering it has started raining. Now Riles through turn 9 through turn 10. Very committed to the inside now. Going to get the exit speed he needs to get DRS applied, using all the battery he can to complete this lap very well. Now, down to turn 11, which will be the start of the end of Sector 2. Now coming up the hill. What's this going to be for an improvement? 59 thousandths of an improvement. This would get him ahead of Sam if he can continue to improve slightly. Jab is starting a lap now, or sorry, Jab is on a lap now. Calm is starting a lap. They still have time to improve. That cutoff time will change surely throughout the session. Now here comes Riles. Completes the checker flag, 3/10 up. And that puts Sam on the cutoff. Toneless currently out. Toneless coming back to the pits now. Calm about to start a lap. We'll focus on Calm. Coming to the line is a McLaren that is Toneless, but he's on an in lap. Behind that's QBR20 Calm. Joe was in the pit lane. That'll be important to make sure he's safe. Calm starts a lap into turn 1 now for Calm.
Ooh, second for Pluto.
What's this going to look like for him?
Second fastest for Pluto.
There you go, an improvement for Pluto. Important for him. And Calm spins. Out of turn 2. We'll have to go again. 4 minutes left in this session. Let's see if we can get an interview in with any of the drivers. No, Lando was out of qualifying. Brew was out of qualifying. Brew wouldn't pick up audio because of the Xbox app. An improvement there for Jap. Goes 4th fastest. He'll look to be safe. Morgan Cheeseman in the chat feels that Aaron Ocon will be safe into Q3. Well, he feels like he can, well, not safe, but be able to make it. Well, Aaron's had a good history at Bahrain. In fact, Brandon, man, this is where he got his last podium.
Yeah.
And where he got his second podium in the league. So we'll see what he can do. Right now he's out, so he's going to have to go out once again and to improve. Polo on an outlap, Aaron on an outlap, Sam on an outlap. All drivers going out now, and this is important for their session. Riles also on an in-lap, Jab on an in-lap, Calm on an in-lap, I believe. Or about to start another one. Blue Goggy thinks he's safe. We'll talk to Goggy in his return. Why not? We'll get a quick word in with him quickly. Talk to him. Hello, Gagi. Welcome along. So, if we can, get a quick wording with you. Include your audio.
Yep.
So, Burning Man, do you have any questions for Gagi? I'll let you give a tackle at this.
Well, so you're currently fifth. I take it you think you're going to be safely through? How do you reckon you're going to do in Q3?
I think 29.9 is about where I thought I would be at the end of Q2 because cut-off point is currently at 30.6. 7/10 gap is probably quite a big margin for a lot of drivers to improve, but I think I'll be safe as long as a lot of drivers just don't go ahead of me. Yeah, I think I'll be fine. If I get through to Q3, I think I did a 28. I managed to do a 28.8 in one-shot qualify, so I could be looking to get around there, maybe low 29s. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
And then are you looking forward to the sprint race?
Yeah, I'm obviously first one in the league, so it'll be interesting to see how drivers manage to handle it. But yeah, it should be fun.
I don't have any questions. So, all I have to say is good luck. And we'll catch you maybe in Q3, hopefully, at the top.
Thank you.
Com sets a lap. That's third fastest, right behind Pluto. Riles retires from the session, by the way. He was in the pit lane, so he thinks he's safe. And Joseph about to start a lap. Kostag about to start a lap. Aaron invalidated. Aaron is going to have to go again, and Aaron's going to have to get back to the start-finish line in time. Polo goes through Sector 2 now. What can Polo do before we go to Joseph? Polo goes wide, but it's invalid. It was up on his time, but it's invalid, so he'll have to back off of this one. Joe is also invalid. They're going to have to get back to the start-finish line in time to be able to get into Q3. Joseph now. Joseph is on an out lap. Joseph starts this lap. Toneless is on a lap. He's 2/10 up. So Toneless could even knock Sam out. Sam could even knock Riles out. Kostag on a lap. Joseph goes through turn 1. Kostag is improving. Joseph, turn 2, turn 3. Rice Cracker believes he's safe. So do many others who's retired. Now, Joseph. End of Sector 1. He's currently out like we saw in Q1. He's barely made it through. Sam does not improve. You're right. So Sam will have to go again unless that's what he's doing. He is, I think. So Sam has to go again in order to make sure he's safe and actually in. 2/10 up for Joseph. Toneless goes forward. Toneless knocks out Sam, his teammate, right now. The Mercedes of Joe crosses the line. Aaron crosses the line. Both of them are able to get another lap, and I believe Polo might be out if he couldn't get back. Joseph now, turn 10. DRS applied, up the gears he goes. The Mercedes next to Com, I think is on an in-lap. He's going to have to see what he can do when it comes to his teammate and aiding his teammate to get into Q3. His teammate is starting this lap in Sector 2 now. Joseph's up on a time. He is 7/10 up. This would be good for him. Kostag goes second fastest. Kostag's improving, so Kostag will be safe. He will be through. Riles could be knocked out next from Joseph. Joseph, the next one to set a lap. What's this going to be for Joseph? The AlphaTauri driver who's barely nicked himself in this next session, just on pure pace, and now pure 8th place. Polo crosses the line now. Polo's got a valid lap time. Can he get through? No, he can't! He will miss Q3 for the first time this season. He was through 3 consecutive times. You're right, Aaron's invalid, so he's going to be out. Sam spins off the final corner, who was improving. He's out. Joe is improving. Can Joe knock out Alistair again for the second week running? Alistair would be out with Riles. Both teammates were 11th and 12th last week. Right now, 10th and 12th. Joe comes to cross the line. Can Joe get through? Joe is 11th. He can't get through. Out. Oh my God.
That is insanely close.
Aaron is invalidated. He's got through every single time. Not every single time. He's got through the last race in Bahrain. Got through last week, and every single time that we thought he'd be able to do well on these laps, it's just been invalidated each single time, and that has cost him a Q3 chance here in qualifying. That's Q2 complete. Now we're on to Q3, where a lot can still happen. But
well, that is close lap times. Look at that.
That just shows how close it's going to be for pole.
Free Goggin was lucky there. He could have been out there.
Aaron said the game did not give him a fresh set in Q2, which maybe caused his downfall to get into Q3. But Out in qualifying, Joe, Polo, Riles, Sam, Aaron. Sam, not making Q3 again. 4 races, 4 eliminations. Aaron has still missed Q3, even in the Ferrari. I mean, he's made it once, but not good enough for him. Riles is a reserve, misses out again for the second week in a row. Polo misses out for the first time this season, and Joe was out of qualifying as well.
That was close by Goggy, though. He may have retired a bit early there if they had improved.
The chat believes Riles is washed. I don't know about that, but we'll see. We'll see in the race what he could do if anyone can recover. Because you know what? I mean, if that car is race pace, it could be the similar thing that happened to Sam in that McLaren last week, where he was able to get himself up front with the race pace the McLaren car had. And speaking of that, we'll get an interview in with somebody. We'll see if we can get Riles in here. We'll see if he wants an interview.
He can defend himself from being washed.
Yeah, we'll ask him. We'll ask him what he thinks of that. We'll ask him. We'll ask him what he thinks. But Aaron not having a fresh set there as well.
Yeah, that guy in chat is going off. He's saying Riles' is arse.
Tell him I said so. Well, he's a good friend of Riles, so I know he messes about with it. But I think 2 cars going on track now. You know, here's a couple stats for Q3, by the way. Pluto's got through every race this season. Will's got through every race he's done this season. Com gets through twice in a row now. Blue Goggy through to Q3 again. Toneless through this time as a reserve. Last time he was through to Q3 was back in Season 1, so it's been a while for him. Rice Cracker through. I believe this might be the first or second time for him this season. Alistair through. He's been through and... Oh, Blue Goggy's been disqualified from qualifying. Just speaking of him, he's got disqualified for blocking the pit lane.
Blocking the pit lane.
Oh, boy. Well, that's going to be 10th place for him.
Well, that's... what the hell happened there?
Jab got through in the Williams, the only Williams driver here today. Jab a little bit lucky with the ABS and the pad traction. That definitely helps. A little bit of an unsafe release there, but that definitely helps him because he's got through now on 2 occasions in Bahrain. Kostag and Joseph both AlphaTauris through this time as well. And I believe that's the second week in a row that both of them have got through, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but... No, wait, no, it's not. I think Saudi Arabia was the only other time that both AlphaTauris were through. It was Joseph who got through last week. Well, Joseph continues his Q3 streak as well, so that's obviously good to see. Other way, first driver to start a lap, Alistair. He'll be the time that everyone will have to beat. He'll be the benchmark time. He'll be the first one to start a lap. Now, DRS applied on this front straight, 90% DRS already. That's how much the battery just continues to deploy itself as he heads to turn 1. Heavy braking, a little late braking too. Clips the curb on the outside, not on the inside though. You don't want to clip an inside curb now through turn 2. Very careful with the track limits on the run down to turn 4. DRS applied, braking at the 100-meter board. A little bit earlier than that actually. And this will be the time you have to set to see what you can improve on. See what you can do. 28 the first sector, that is. I mean, what times are we going to see for pole? At the time, it was 29.4 through last session, which was set by Will Cromack. We could see a 29.3, 29.2, maybe somebody different at the 28s. We'll see. Find out. Alistair goes through turn 9 and turn 10, committed to the inside line now. Does not want to clip that outside curb. It's an auto spin curb. We've seen Polo spin already on that in Q1. You don't want to do it in Q3 when it matters. Now, going to break at the 100-meter board for Alistair. A little later than that, actually. Turn 11 now. Very careful on traction. You have to be right here. Now up the hill. Does he let off at all? Is he full throttle? He's fully committed through there. Doesn't let off one bit. 107.6. That Alpine is looking very strong here today at Bahrain. And this is going to be a good chance for Alpine to score points with both cars because this is the last good track till they get to Singapore. Alpine very favorited on the straight lines. Now in the final 2 straight lines, as we head to the start-finish line, he'll complete his lap with DRS applied on the run to the line, which is going to be, we've seen 29.4 set, now it's a 29.7 as the benchmark time. Currently pole behind that Rice Cracker. What's he going to set? He goes faster, 29.4, so it is even faster than what we've seen. Next up is the McLaren Atoneless, who's going to start a lap. Behind that, it's the Mercedes Acom. He's also going fast, I believe, through the first couple of sectors. He's been fast in qualifying so far. He got pole last week. Can he take back-to-back poles? He had a front row here last season, So this could be crucial for him. Where's Calm gonna go? Calm comes across the line. He does go fastest, 29.3. So that is the fastest time we've seen so far. We are into the .3s. And now Pluto's up next. So can Pluto make a difference at the top of the leaderboard? Toneless now is heading to turn 4. But what can Pluto do? Pluto comes to the line. Pluto is gonna go fastest, 29.2. So we are seeing improvements. It is close, 89 thousandths. Toneless at 28.9. Not as fast as Alistair was able to do in that first sector, but he's still within the top of the charts.
Jab's about to say his lap.
Toneless, because he'll be within a second, it looks like. Jab next up. Jab, then an AlphaTauri. Jab goes fourth fastest. Next up is the AlphaTauri of Kostag or Joseph. Kostag within a tenth almost. Kostag goes third. Next up is Joseph. But as I was saying about Toneless, that time would keep him within a second of the field, so he knows he's still close. Joseph goes to the pit lane. Will Chromac is next. Will Chromac, what can he do? Can he go in the 29 ones? Will Chromac does go in the 29 ones. He is ahead of Pluto. Will Chromac is on pole right now.
No one is able to keep the top right now.
7.9 for Toneless. That's purple. Don't know if that's a fake purple or not, but we'll see coming to the line now. Toneless, was Sector 2 an improvement for him? McLaren gets a car into Q3 again. That is not Sam. Second driver to do so. However, what can Toneless make of this? With Davis missing this week, Davis been on podium in Bahrain every season. What can Toneless do for him? 30.1. As mentioned, he's just barely outside of a second, though.
Wow, this is close.
We're not able to get an interview in with Riles. We'll see if we can get KBR20 Joe in. This time he's a full-time driver around Bahrain. Not a reserve this season, so I'll get a word. We'll get a word in with him. I'll get an interview with him. I want to see if we can get somebody each time.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Saw Ricecracker when he started his lap. He went a bit wide, so I reckon he can improve quite a bit from that.
Will Chromac on an in-lap. Kostag on an in-lap. Jab on an in-lap. Toneless also on an in-lap. Here's Joe. Welcome along, Joe.
Hello.
Hello. Make sure you include your audio. We'll give you talk for a little bit. We'll ask about your Q2. You were just barely out. Struggling session till the very end. You put yourself in that position with, I guess I would say, the pressure. And you were just barely out. It was close. What more did you need to get through to Q3?
Fresher tires. That's probably the main
Aaron
difference.
said the same thing.
Yeah, it's probably the main difference with the sprint format is, I believe we had 4 sets last weekend, but this weekend we've only got 3 for qualifying. Well, Q1 and Q2.
Yeah. Now, I also have to ask as well. Your teammate Calm in the Mercedes, he took pole last week and he's third right now in the charts. What do you think you're able to do against him? Are you having a tough time getting used to the Mercedes with the 2 races you missed at the beginning of the season? What do you think the deal is there for you?
I think it's a mix of me missing the first 2 rounds and still not being 100% on low traction. You probably could tell from my first runs in Q1 and Q2 I spun both times. So I've put it on medium to try and improve just for this weekend, but we'll see what happens.
And I don't have any other questions for you, Brennan Man. Anything else to say?
Yeah. Who do you reckon is going to get pole?
Ricecracker, Com, or Will. They seem to be the 3 guys who can always perform equally.
Talking about Ricecracker, he's just started a lap.
Alright, well, good luck, Joe. Wish you luck in the race. Here's Ricecracker, though. 3/10 spot the field. Can he improve on his time? Can he give Ferrari a pole this season? Ferrari have not had a good start to the season. They are actually last in the constructor standings, 1 point to start the season. So Ricecracker is the hope for them right now to start this race at least by helping them gain points. They need everything they can. Purple sector 1, 28.5, 3/10 up. You're right about that.
I thought he was going
able
to
to
improve
do.
a lot. He went a bit wide at
Turn
turn
8.
1 for his first lap.
A little bit of a struggle there through turn 8, a little bit of a struggle there through the end of the S's, going wide a little bit. But here we go. 43, 44, 45 seconds into the lap. Now turn 9, turn 10. What's this going to be like? Let's see. Now on the run down to turn 11, we have yellow flags. Drivers are about to come out, starting laps. Toneless is on an out lap. Rice Cracker continuing this lap. Rice Cracker was 2 tenths up. That could be enough to get him pole. Is he improving through sector 2? 2 tenths up though now. So it isn't purple, but it could be a second row right now. Currently 5th, but he's doing enough to get himself on the second row. Let's see what the final 2 corners shape up to be. Here he comes. Final braking zone.
Ooh, we lost it.
Oh, slide! Might not be
He's
enough.
backing out.
He's going to come back to the pits. But if I were him, I would have continued that lap because he may have still improved. But he is done for qualifying, I think, because he's not going to be able to get back out there in time. That's it for him.
Yeah, with the animation, I reckon he's not going to make it in time. That's unlucky for Cracker.
Yeah.
It's
Toneless
just coming
as
around.
well. Start a lap. Joseph yet to start a lap. I mean, a lot of things going on in this qualifying session to where it could be another pole for Will Cromack. It could maybe be an 8th different pole sitter in the last 8 races. Kostag's been fast. Kostag's been up there. Jab is still very close to the top of the field. I think there's a lot of things that can happen in this race. However, let alone qualifying. Qualifying comes first, but Toneless will be the first one to kind of help out with this whenever it comes to showing us what will happen. Let's see. Turn 1 now. Clips the instant curb with the rear of the car. Now through turn 2, turn 3. It wasn't the best of laps last time by, but we'll see. Can Toneless make anything of this? 7th gear, 8th gear. Shifted up very quickly. Now, turn 4. Now the S section. Is this an improvement on his lap? Also starting a lap is Jab. Purple. A 10th up. So, he could get himself ahead of Alistair. He could get himself ahead of Jab, but there's going to be more improvement through sector 2 in order to do that. Turn 8 now. Up the gears. Not shifting up as quickly as he was before. Now turn 9, turn 10. This will be crucial to get right. Committing to the inside. Not as committed as a lot of the other drivers. May have lost a little bit of time doing that. Yellow flags in the final sector as cars are continuing to start laps. Kostag starts a lap. Pluto starts a lap. And I believe that was also Joseph starting a lap. Now turn 11 for Toneless. What's this going to be like? Ooh, up the gears. 6th gear. Struggling a little bit on that. Very careful to the S section here. Or sorry, up the hill I meant. 4 tenths up now. And this could be at least something to save him for 8th place. Or possibly improving just a little bit, depending on what the final corner was like last time by. But now, Toneless, the first to try to get pole. Out of everybody, continuing laps, starting laps, Toneless goes 6th fastest, completes the checker flag. Rice Crackers also complete the checker flag, getting 5th. Toneless, though, does improve. Also on laps, Alistair a 10th up in the first sector. Joseph is continuing to go. Jab comes to the final corner. He's up in his time and he could go front row. Jab comes to the final corner. What's this going to be like for Jab? Jab! 29 zeros. He's on pole! Next up is the Haas of Pluto, who's improving as well. Can he say something? Pluto comes through the final corner now. Final braking zone now. Can he improve? Jab could be a second pole for the season for him, but can Pluto stop him? Pluto was on pole in, I believe, one of the last few races, but Pluto misses out. Next up is the 2 AlphaTauris. Kostag's improving. Kostag can't improve enough. Joseph coming to the line. Joseph, 9th place. Will Cromack goes pole, 29-0. Alistair's next. Alistair goes 5th. It is close. Can come. No, he invalidated. Well, Cromack is back on pole.
Wow. What an ending.
Oh my goodness.
That was insanely close.
And it still will be close in this sprint too. Will Cromack steals pole. My goodness. Burning Man, how about you lead us through the qualifying order?
Right, so we've got Will Cromack on pole, with Jab in 2nd, Pluto 3rd, Kostag 4th, Alistair 5th, Com 6th, Rice Cracker 7th, 8th is Toneless, 9th is Joseph, and 10th is Blue Goggy. That's the top 10. Wow. That is insanely close. All of them under 1 second as well.
Not only under 1 second, but all within 7/10
Yeah.
for the people who set times. I mean, oh my goodness.
And then obviously
Now we go to the sprint.
third and first split by literally under 1/10. That is close.
Another Williams front row. I mean, we've seen that so many times this season so far. Jab and Pluto felt there was times left in their lap too. It's so close. It is so close. Doughboy also joins us in, who started the back of the back of the sprint. Apologies about that. But yeah, let's see what goes on here. On to the sprint now. Oh my goodness. We are really shaped up for a close race.
Yeah. I'm impressed by how close the qualifying was.
I know. Oh, it's down to the wire. We didn't even get to see any bit of Will Cormac's lap because of how late they were leaving it and how close it was. 29.0 we saw in pole 2. I knew we were going to be close to the 28s, and we were. We were close.
That could have been anyone's pole to take.
Not only that, but even you consider Goggy maybe in the mix too. I
Yeah.
mean, he would have been in within 7/10. I mean,
don't
that
know
was
what happened
close.
with the CSQ.
I know. Parked in the front of the pit lane, so
Unlucky.
see, on to the sprint
Maybe
race now.
the car move.
Yeah, Doughboy will be in the Red Bull, so that's good that the game has done that.
Be sure
By the way, sprint.
that's everyone
Here we go.
but Lando on mediums.
Interesting. So Lando's gone hards for the sprint.
It's kind
Maybe
of
trying to
surprising.
test this for the race?
Maybe.
Maybe trying to test this for the race? Maybe? I mean, you gotta sort of wonder, because it is an easy, medium, hard in the race. You gotta sort of wonder, is this what he's trying to do? I don't know. We'll see. Whoa! Okay, he almost runs into someone on the formation lap. Same with Wingo, but anyway, let's go over a couple of favorites here, Burning Man. I'm gonna go over 2 favorites. You're gonna go over 2 completely different favorites here to start this one. I'm gonna go over Will Cormac. Last season in Bahrain, it wasn't so great for him, and not one of his best tracks at the time. However, this game has completely changed things, and for the sprint race, coming back, needing to gain points in the championship, I think today is where that starts. And considering he starts on pole, gets an extra pole point. There you go. That's the start of that. Next up after that, I'm gonna go with Jab in second as my other favorite, because Jab, I think, can really do a lot of good things today, and considering the fact that he also is on pad, he also has an advantage with ABS at this track, because ABS is very powerful at this track. Be a front runner. He will easily be a front runner today. And that's my 2 favorites. The top 2 are my favorites. I mean, I can't go with anyone else really.
Yeah.
So there you go. 2 favorites?
Well, first favourite gonna have to be Pluto. I think he is going to be able to get that 3rd win in a row. He's just insanely fast.
And today's where it starts with the sprint.
Yeah, he's quite fast. Oh, that's Goggy and Riles. Squad that. And then second favourite, I reckon Alistair. He is very fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I have to mention about Alistair too. Although this is the sprint, he's got the 6 seconds penalties for the race. This is where he can capitalize on those points. You know, more so this one than the race itself, probably.
Yeah.
At least that's how I think of it.
Definitely Pluto. It's one of my favourites.
We'll see what happens. Lining up to the grid for the first ever URS sprint. Will Cormac will lead us underway. Now just waiting for the last car of Doughboy to reach the grid.
Oh, sounds Steve got disqualified.
Here we go. Here come the 5 red lights for the first ever URS sprint here in Bahrain. Rev it up. A little bit of a delay. It's lights out and away we go for the first URS sprint. A little bit of a traction loss for Com off the line, which is going to allow him to be challenged.
Pluto
But
with a
for the
very
lead,
good
it'll be
start.
Will, Pluto, and Jab. Pluto got a good start. And now on the run down to turn 1, Pluto's going to challenge Will. Jab in Jab there in the wings. So is Kostag. Will did go wide, and here's Pluto side by side off turn 1. Will and Kostag make contact, but Pluto takes the lead into turn 4 before turn 4 in the sprint. Now here comes Jab challenging back for 3rd, which he lost off the start. Going to be side by side with Kostag, and he's now going to get passed around the outside from Alistair. Alistair challenges. Jab goes back ahead. Positions trading throughout the field. Joseph and Toneless. Joseph out of Toneless. Now, Aaron had a Brute. Brute trying to gain positions from his bad qualifying. Doughboy gaining spots. Lando, who's on the hards, falling back. Now, Jeb and Alistair go side by side in turn 8. Now to turn 9. Can they keep it? Alistair goes ahead. Oh, and wide is Will.
It's gone very wide there.
Oh, Jeb
lost
gets
the back.
tapped as well. And now, Racecracker's going to challenge. So is Calm. Calm's going to challenge Jeb. Both of them going to go side by side. Racecracker. Oh! Loses the rear. Now, gonna have the inside line. Oh, he gets pushed out wide. They make contact.
Whoa,
Race
Racecracker
loses
lost his
it.
round.
Oh!
Joseph
Gets damaged. Both in the runoff. Up the hill. Joseph re-enters and gets contact again. Not a good start to both them for their sprint. That's going to cost them the back of the grid for the race itself. But positions gained on lap 1 of the sprint. Pluto 2, Kostag 2, Alistair 1. And down the order. Down the order is Gagi. Down the order is Sam. Did they come to collision? Calm goes by Jab by turn 1. You're right about that. And Alistair was also challenging Will for the time being. But when it comes to positions gained, 6 for Doughboy, 4 for Brute, 4 for Polo, 2 for Joe, 3 for Riles.
And up on Brute
It's all
and Riles are all
continuing
battling.
Oh boy, into turn 4. Aaron down the inside, gonna dive
Brute's
it.
going for it.
That's in front of Riles.
Let's back out there.
Brute had to back out as well, and so did Doughboy, being careful in this train of cars. Can Brute keep
He's going
ahead?
for it
He's
again.
gonna dive down the inside.
Oh, he's tapped
he
quite
clips
well.
Aaron and clips Riles. A lot of contact there.
Doughboy might be going for it, Riles. No, he's backing out.
Riles might go for it. Riles might
He's going
try
for
to
the
keep
switch.
position. Doughboy
Alright.
tries to switch back. Couldn't do anything about it. The front, it's still 5/10. 6 cars in the URS train. Also diving down on the inside is Blue Gagi and Lando. Gagi and Lando trade spots. And there's
Yeah,
a
flags.
spinner! Jab!
Jab!
He spun!
Ooh, this has not been a good sprint race for Jab.
He lost the position at the start. Now he's lost even more from this. He said a lot of points are on the table for him, but not right now. Racecracker challenging Lando. No, a spin! Gagi spun!
Gagi's round.
It's got damage.
He lost
The front wing's completely
yeah,
missing.
he's lost the
It's
thing.
been a crazy start to these 10 laps, but Pluto leads now. Takes the fastest lap. Racecracker goes by Lando. They're both going to go side by side at the back of the field. Lando getting ahead. Now Racecracker getting
Polo's going
ahead.
for Thomas. Nice, backed out.
Into turn 1. Have to back out of that.
He's right behind
Lando
him.
and
Right?
Race
He
as
might
well in
just
turn
be able to
1.
get him.
Rice on the inside, Lando on the outside. Oh, both lose the rear. And can't make anything of it. Rice has to stay ahead. Now Sam going to try and challenge this back. Right now in the top 8, considering how bad of a qualifying Joe and Polo had, they'll both score points in the sprint as things stand. So not bad for them.
Will was just behind Kostag.
And they're heating this up for the lead because you know Will's trying to push Kostag along to catch Pluto and maybe say, hey, go catch Pluto, go catch Pluto. We can do this.
Wow,
And you know
the
what?
4 cars
I
are
know
all
there's-
right behind each other.
I know there's, you know, points on offer for the sprint, but, I mean, knocking Pluto off the lead may be what they need to do, because how much that can change the championship today would be very crucial toward Pluto, and very crucial toward anyone else.
Yeah, I reckon
Um,
Pluto is probably the
well.
target on this back.
He does from everybody. I know he's friends with, you know, everyone really in the top 5 except for Alistair, but I know they're going to be pushing to try to get by Pluto at least.
Yeah.
But they still have 8 laps, now 7 laps this time, left to do that. Still DRS now, Kostag, that'll be the important thing for him, to try to catch Pluto. A lot of battery being used. Comset's fastest lap. Also in the slipstream is, Will Cromack, but
Polo and
Polo
Toneless.
goes by Toneless. Position swap there, very easily done. Ricecracker sets fastest lap. Riles and Doughboy also close. Doughboy gonna go down the inside. Doughboy gonna keep it side by side. Little struggle for Rice. Doughboy goes ahead of Riles. They're gonna be side by side before the lead. Kostag could not get close enough just yet. And Doughboy has to actually hang behind Riles there because of turn 2 and turn 3. Now here's Rice. Can't make anything of it though. Oh, contact, I think. They touched. And now Rice is trying to get back ahead. When he lost the position originally, Doughboy goes wide. It will allow Rice to go through. While Joseph at the back of the field set fastest lap. And I believe from 5th place, that's a mistake from Calm, which is going to allow, I believe, Polo God to get in DRS Now at the front of the field, as you mentioned, Burning Man, it was a 5-car train. Now it's a 4-car train.
Seems like Pluto's getting a lot better. He's getting a lot better traction than Kostak out of the corners.
Now, almost halfway through the sprint race. It's going by very quickly here at Bahrain. Rice Cracker goes by Riles there before the uphill section. We have a spin. That's that's Joe.
Ooh.
Mercedes goes around. And I believe Aaron Ocon's been involved in that too because he re-enters right in the path of his teammate. Holo Guide sets fastest lap. Here we go for the lead though. Kostag, is he close enough? Is he gonna dive down the inside? Yes, he is. Late on the brakes. Can he get there? No, he can't. He can't get by him. He's gonna have to try to switch it back in turn 3. Overtake DRS on the run down to turn 4. They're gonna be side by side. Aaron gets by Brute in the background. It goes wide, but here's Kostag and Pluto side by side for the lead because Kostag get ahead. Both bang wheels for just a second, but Pluto takes the lead back.
Kostak is trying to force him a bit wide there.
Riles also gets by an Aaron, and Aaron has to try to switch him back.
Doughboys
Big
around.
Doughboy off in the background. Brute around. Bit of trouble for them.
And near the back, Windows just gone wide, trying to go for the move.
Brute has to re-enter right there. A lot of commotion in the background. Riles and Rice also side by side.
Brute's out.
That's a retirement from Brute. And that will bring out a safety car to the sprint. While Riles got ahead of Rice there, who had wing damage.
How many people are going to pit for softs?
Do they really need to? Do they want to waste a pair?
Probably don't, but you never know.
Is it worth it? It could. We'll see.
Some people might pit for softs.
It'll be quite the sprint to the end. Brute, the retirement in the sprint. The only retirement in the sprint so far. That'll help Goggy and anyone else trying to gain on their starting position. However, let's watch the top 4, top 5, top 6. Do they pit for softs? Do they stay out? I would assume it's a no-brainer to stay out.
They're going to stay out.
Maybe
you never know. Wait, Pluto's pitting.
Pluto.
Oh no, he's faking it.
Thinking about it. Oh, he
Faking
ducks. He ducks. He's faking it for maybe someone else to do so. Top 7 stay out.
I don't think
This safety car shouldn't be too long, but we'll see.
Yeah, no one's pitting.
No one's really pitting. No one. No, I'm not surprised about that. Jab is though. Maybe trying to gain.
It might be just going. It might just be going for the fastest lap.
That, but he wouldn't get the point for it in the sprint
Oh,
though,
no,
so that's what
fine.
I'm concerned about. All right, there you go. Now with this halt to the sprint with the safety car, you gotta sort of wonder what's it gonna be like for Pluto? Is he gonna get attacked here immediately? What's gonna happen between him and Kostag? Is Kostag gonna go for it? How eager are they? To find out.
Invite Aaron Ocon.
And how short will the safety car be? Joseph also puts in the softs. Jab comes out in the softs as well. There's a bit of a mess with Aaron at the back of his field. Oh boy.
Yeah,
Aaron's AI.
Yeah.
You're right about that.
I have invited him back in.
Yeah, but there's a couple of issues back of the field here.
Oh, yep, he's back
outside the points. He is.
Ooh, Sam Sebring really wide there.
That's because he has to give the spot back because of the whole glitch with Aaron, I believe, with the illegal overtake. So. Oh, who is that?
I don't know. I couldn't see the colour. Someone has taken damage.
Is that Rice Cracker? Rice Cracker, no front wing now.
Lost his whole ring.
So a chance of the top 8 finish, even with the damage, that's kind of over now.
Okay.
Aaron Ocon's turned back too.
Yeah, he's turned back. I'm surprised he hasn't taken control. He's still ghosted.
Safety car should be a next lap, though. We'll see if that's the case.
It was a good start, though.
And you know what? We'll see what happens here at the front of this field.
Surely it's
on this restart. Rice Cracker pitting.
Yeah. That's unlucky for Cracker.
Yeah.
He's doing a good job. But then again, safety car will probably pit. Oh, it's a double stack.
Double stack too. Yep, Aaron, I don't know if it's pitted his car, he's pitted himself.
I mean, I'm not even sure if he's taken
him, who knows?
control yet.
That might be an issue for him, so Jab will go by him.
AI might have
Joseph will go by, maybe. No, Joseph's not going to go by. He's way too far back. Never mind.
Yeah, it's first crack on the softs.
I mean, safety car should be in this time for a 3-go shootout
in this lap.
for points, any sort of points. And you know what? Those points will be crucial for some people,
This will make it
especially even
interesting.
if you can gain them on Pluto.
Lando's done good on those hards, up into P10.
Not bad for him. I mean, you know what? Maybe they're the long-term tire that he was trying to.
Obviously, he's got a bit lucky with everyone spinning, but still good.
Yeah.
I think the safety car's actually waiting for everyone else to catch up.
And they should be by the end of this lap.
yeah, they should.
Gagi
Surely
is
they
at the
should
exit of sector 1.
Yeah, the Cracker's
and it will
caught
be,
up.
and it only is about 2 laps, so we'll see.
Yeah, Cracker's caught up. Alan Ocon isn't too far behind.
Let's check the warnings between Pluto and Kostag only because I want to see how much they've pushed it considering it's a sprint. Pluto, no warnings. Kostag, no warnings. So, yeah, no, not hard, not, wow, not English. Not that hard to keep it on the track at Bahrain, though, and keep it within the track limits. We've not seen any penalties so far, but is the safety car going to be in
We
this
saw a
time?
penalty
Is it going to be a
for,
late call? Might be.
Joseph got a penalty for speeding.
He did, but luckily
Yeah.
he was able to serve it
Yeah.
under the safety car, so that's good.
I don't think he's in.
I don't know. It might be a
Ah,
late
there you
call.
are.
Yes, it is. Here we go. Late call again.
Alright.
Pluto the leader.
It's
And
back
now
and
he's
all
going to
up.
have another chance to hold on to this lead. With
Pluto's
2 laps to
going.
go. He goes now. He's
Cross
away.
that, drive, take on.
And so does Pluto. So we'll have to see what happens here now in
Alistair's
turn 1.
right on the
Kostag
behind the wheel.
gaining. There you go.
Alistair's going for the
Alistair
dive.
behind. You may get the move done before turn 1. No, not just yet. Pushes Will out just a little bit. Gonna be
Whoa.
side by side at turn 2. There's contact. Now,
Alistair fast.
Khan will take advantage, but for the lead. Here's Kostag. Can Kostag take advantage? Gonna go to the
Going for
inside.
dive.
Kenny, right on his rear wheel. Buying that Common Will and Alistair.
gets
They all
ahead.
still battle. Rice and Lando battle, but Pluto stays ahead. Wow.
What a start by
Breath
Alistair.
needed, but Joseph goes by Joe. They're on the softs on this restart. They're trying to get everything they can for a better starting spot in points. Doughboy up to 9th in the Red Bull. Gonna go ahead of Sam.
Little Goggy
They
and
head to
Joe
turn 9
Batten.
and turn 10. It's back of the field. Oh, we have cars going off. Doughboy goes off. Rice Cracker and Sam make contact. Doughboy rejoins right in the path of Rice Cracker here.
Rice Cracker might not be too happy about that.
Joseph also side by side with Lando. Joseph on the newer softs, Lando on the hards. Lando probably testing the hards for the race. That'll be important and crucial. Doughboy slides up in front of Rice Cracker. Now we're going to come to 2 laps to go. Final couple laps of the sprint now. These positions will be important for points and everything else needed for your
Alistair's
starting
just
position in the
behind
Bahrain
Kostag.
Grand Prix. Back to the front of the field, you're right. That'll be important for any sort of points if they want to gain anything. Alistair, especially because the 6 seconds he'll have to serve in the race, but Kostag using as much battery as he can to gain on Pluto.
He's going to go for that. No. Way too far back to go for that there.
Can't just yet.
Ooh. Oh, Blue Goggy now up on Batten. Keep it clean.
That's Rice Cracker and Doughboy as well.
Blue Goggy went really wide there. Alan Ocon's gone for it. Yep, he's passed. Easy.
Position traded right there. Riles and Toneless go side by side. The 2 reserves racing this race. Riles goes out of Toneless.
My god, the top
Behind that-
5 are so close to each other.
Doughboy jabs Sam. All close. You're right about that because look at who's closed.
Oh, someone's
God.
around.
And Rice Cracker again.
Yep. That's
Rice
pretty much
Cracker's
over.
gotten in
Cracker.
trouble. Yep, even on the new softs, he's not going to be able to gain anything from it. Jab and Doughboy go side by side. Jab goes out of Doughboy. Doughboy also returning his reserve. Here's Paulo God trying to gain on Will. Paulo God trying to make up the lost spots he had in qualifying with this sprint. Same with Riles, 6 positions gained. Doughboy 9. Didn't even get to qualify. Here we go for the lead though. In the sprint, for the win in the sprint, we're going to see, can Pluto hang on, or will Kostag be able to say something about it and gain the points he needs on Pluto?
They're about
Final lap
equal on
this time.
URS.
That might be the crucial thing for Pluto to hold on.
Yeah, it's just a tiny bit more.
Alistair getting on URS.
DRS. Yep, DRS for the
Everyone
final
really-
lap.
below 50% in the front of the field, but here we go. DRS
Alistair might get it on
enabling.
He's
There
only
we
just
go.
behind
Will he
him.
have it moving to turn 1 yet? No, not yet. Kostek will have DRS down to turn 4 on Pluto, though. Oh, but it'll allow Kostek to gain a little bit, but not enough just yet for moving to turn 4. Doesn't have enough speed, can't close up enough. Joseph gets by Doughboy in the background. Doughboy goes off!
Ooh.
But anyway, back to the lead. 3/10, the gap. Pluto still holding it. Kostek's still gaining on his previous best time.
Yeah.
Kostek goes
Top
purple.
second one.
Kostek's trying to get it. Kostek loses the rear.
3-second pen from Wingo.
Wingo picks up a penalty. The battle for the lead is still on. In the sprint
Alistair's
for 8
so
points
close
to
to
7. He's ready to make a move too. Oh, Polo goes wide in the
It might
background.
just be a little too late.
He'll have one more chance, maybe.
Yeah.
Kostek, but he's gonna have to gain everything he can in this final sector
Alistair's
on
pushing
Pluto.
hard.
Pluto has to hold on.
Pluto's got
There you
this.
go.
Pluto's got this.
He does, but can Alistair
But
get
can
second
Alistair-
though in the sprint?
Oh, he's right behind him. He's not going for the bike. Oh my god!
Can't just yet. Jab
Right
on Riles
behind
as
him.
well. Jab was outside the top 10 on the softs. Gonna try to get it. Can Alistair go for a final corner for second?
Sure, he's
in the
going for the
sprint?
dive. He's going for it.
Oh, there's contact! I think Kostek's gonna keep second.
Kostek
Pluto
with a
wins
better
the first
exit.
ever URS
Yep.
sprint, and he can possibly get 3 in a row with that today. But now, Kostek, Alistair complete the top 3. Then it's Calm, Will, Polo, Jab on the softs, and Riles completes the top 8, the points positions for the sprint.
Wow. That was close. It's a good end.
Yes, it was. Pluto.
Just a bit too
first
late for
sprint.
Alistair to get that second.
How about Jab as well and recovering on the softs? I mean, he was, what, 14th, 15th?
Go boys left the session.
Yep, you'll need to get him back.
Yep. Wow, that is close. Look at that. 8 points for Pluto. This helped him even more in the championship. Where's Doughboy? There he is. Can't invite him right now. Won't let me.
All
Oh
right.
wait, no.
So
Oh, wait.
here's your starting grid.
Invite to game. There they are. Sent an invite to Doughboy.
There you go.
Ooh, tickets already open.
Maybe for lag from Doughboy, I'm hearing.
Maybe for lag or maybe just for, I don't know. Who knows?
We'll see. However, onto the race itself.
And there were a couple times when people were pulling right in front of people racing. Maybe it's for that. Doughboy's back in.
Maybe.
It was a good start from Pluto. It was a rocket at the start of it.
Yeah, it was. That was crazy. We'll have to see what he can do at the race now.
No, Doughboy's out again.
Now we go to the race itself, where the full points are awarded. Everything will change itself. You know, I know it's also mentioned too, but Kostek, Alistair, they've yet to win in this league. They could break Pluto's chance at 3 in a row. This league has never seen 3 in a row, by the way.
Yeah.
So
I reckon
Pluto could do that
Pluto's gonna get
today.
it,
Starts first. Yep, exactly. So 8 points for him already. Starting off pretty nice. Toneless needs an invite.
though. Yeah, I'll invite them in a second. It lets me. Right, you said Toneless and Doughboy?
Yes.
Yeah, won't let me invite him yet. There you are, now it's sorted. Toneless, invite. What's going on? There we go.
Alright.
And then
Now here we go for the actual race itself. See the tires people are on. Lando on the softs. Ooh, okay. Well, here's the tires for everybody. Lando on the softs. Pluto and Kostek on the hards. The rest of the top 6 on the mediums. What's up?
My game's broken. It won't let me.
Okay.
I'm stuck in the race director. Can't get out of it.
Okay. That's odd.
Yeah, I'm pressing
Try
everything.
pausing and unpausing.
Yeah, no, nothing's working. I'm stuck in the fucking race director.
Oh boy.
What the hell?
You stuck in it?
Yeah, it's like
Okay,
I
then.
paused it to invite Toneless and Doughboy, but then because the formation
Toneless
outside.
is in.
Yeah, I invited both of them, but like
Try,
then the
try pressing the Xbox button and
Yeah, no,
Coming
nothing's
off of it?
Nothing's working.
Nothing? If you have to quit out and come back in, then that's might be what you do. But try to
Yeah,
try to
I'm
figure out
trying
what you can.
everything. It's not. I'm gonna have to quit. Oh, God damn it.
All right, I will get you back in the session.
Yep.
That's weird.
Thank you, EA. Good
All right,
old
I'll get you an
EA
invite.
and Codemasters.
I know you're not in the session, so I'll do the two. I'll do the two favorites under the formation laps though. Anyway, Pluto is looking very well for 3 in a row. I'll do 3 considering you're not here, but Pluto looking very well for 3 in a row. I have to say, no one's ever done it in this league. No one has ever done it. And Brute Gorgon, by the way, I see him at the back of the field. He's not really supposed to leave that big of a gap back there, but he's supposed to catch back up to the field. He'd be penalized if he continues to leave this big gap, but I was gonna say, Pluto, 3 in a row, could happen today. There could be a good chance for it. All that starts right now. Starts in the hards. Not only that, but, what was I gonna say? Starts first, so that's an advantage to him. Kosteg's done well in the sprint race, showed himself well, gained spots off the start. Could gain on Pluto here at the very start of this race. Let's see if he can. And then behind that, Jab I'm going to go with in 7th. Ooh. What's it called? Jab starts 7th. And if Jab doesn't spin in the race or anything, he has good pace to do very well. Give you an invite back.
Yeah,
Let's see.
I accepted
Goes
the
on. I see
invite, but now
Toneless
it's just
on-
stuck in the
Toneless.
lobby. It's saying there's only one. What the hell
I
is
need to
going
quit out and
on?
rejoin. Shows toneless on the 10 lap hards. Or 10 lap mediums.
If it's still buggy, I may have to restart my Xbox.
Alright, here we go. 4, 5 red lights. Here we go. There, lights out, and away we go. Alistair got an amazing start. Alistair already up into the lead. I think that may have been a little bit of a glitch for him, but he's already ahead of Pluto before turn 1. And now Pluto getting challenged. Pluto gets run in the back up. Kostag goes wide. Now Com takes 3rd over. They're going to be side by side. Kostag gets out of Will, and Will gets out of Polo. All positions trading throughout the field. Now on the run down to turn 4, can Will go and challenge Kostag? He can't. Jab is side by side with Polo, but Alistair with the 6 seconds of penalties, that's the advantage he needed. Already out to the lead. Riles also challenging Jab. Will and Polo were side by side. Polo diving down the inside already. They're going to be side by side and wheel to wheel. Com and Pluto. Will and Polo side by side to turn 10. Can they keep it? Oh, pinching one another. Here's Jab and Riles. Jab gonna go around the outside of Will, actually. Jab was able to gain traction. A very clean lap 1 so far. Here's Riles. Can't get through. Oh, side by side between Jab and Will now up the hill. The advantage. Will gets out of Jab. Joe, by the way, got an illegal overtake, and he's going to have a penalty from it. Blue Goggy has to slot in behind Riles. Now Jab
There you are.
gets passed again by Will.
Right, it's working now.
Rice Cracker goes off in the background. It's going to allow Goggy to get by. Now for what is the net lead. I'm going to go ahead of Pluto. Is Pluto going to challenge us back, though? Pluto backs off of this one. Now Polo and Kostak. Polo and Kostak get really close into turn 1. Polo goes through, but dives wide. And now Kostak challenges back. A little bit of touching. Riles and Jab now side by side in the background. Riles goes through, while Jab will go back through. Riles challenging this back now. A lot of positions traded from the opening laps. Let's see the positions gained from where they started. 1 for Riles, 2 for Polo, 2 for Alistair, 2 for Com. 3 lost for Kostag. And Alistair spun
Ooh,
from the lead
so unlucky.
at the X of the S's.
Oh yeah, I'm back in now.
He's going to now challenge us back on Will Cromack. Good to see. Now side by side. Will's going to go wide. Oh, he has to use the runoff now. Going to get past in a spin in the background for Rice Cracker. He got tapped around. There's damage, I believe, to a McLaren. On McLaren spins, that's toneless. All positions trading throughout the field. Another one of those positions gained and positions lost involve the Alfa Romeos, both gaining 4 spots in the opening laps. It's very good for their races. Jab also behind Blue Goggy. Blue Goggy's gained a lot of spots to start this race. Rice Cracker on Joe. Joe on Sam. Sam second in the championship is going to need a lot more positions than just that. He gets passed by Joe. Com takes fastest lap as URS will be enabled on the third lap of this race. On that, Rice Cracker and Joe also trade spots again. Gonna go side by side. Sam also fell down the order. He had to repair a bit of front wing, I think. So did Toneless. Sam pits for mediums. Let's see what happens to Sam now. Sam might have been the one with front wing damage that we noticed.
Toneless also had front wing damage.
So they're both on double stacked right there. Will is on the back of Riles. Riles on the back of Alistair, at least within DRS this time. With Alistair's spin, that now allows Com to go to the lead. And Com will control this race as of right now. Had a Pluto who he has completely got out of DRS. Previous podiums in league racing, at Bahrain for Polo. He's now on the podium. That will be crucial to his race. Going wide is Kostag. That may allow Alistair to take advantage there. Polo's got himself in a DRS of Pluto. Polo, by the way, started outside the top 10 completely, and now is on the run for a podium. Although it's still lap 3, but you know, he started back there at the end of qualifying now in the sprint. He started 6th, got some points there, and is recovering back to the podium. DRS of Pluto too. Also in DRS is Alistair and Kostag, who's looking to make a move. Kostag is gonna have to defend this, but Alistair to the right side, gonna go wheel to wheel. Turn 1, Alistair ahead, but Alistair switching back. Gonna go side by side.
Ooh,
Can they make? Oh, they make contact. Doughboy by Joe for the time being. Alistair goes to defend. Kostag gonna go back to the left side. Both gonna go wheel to wheel now into turn 4. Kostag dives ahead. Alistair makes contact, pushes him off. Kostag stays ahead, gives the position back though, and now Alistair gets back ahead. All this battling is going to prevent them from catching Pluto, and Kostag loses it, which is allowing Riles to go down the inside of Will. Both going wheel to wheel. Goggy in the wings, Jab in the wings, waiting for something to happen. Something has happened. Riles slides. Riles gonna challenge Will back. Gonna go 3 wide.
Oh.
They crash. Riles around. Jabber on the outside of Goggy now. Goggy stuck his nose in there, and I believe he caused a collision with them, trying to go 3 wide. We'll have to see if Goggy has any damage, but there you go. That's the cause of that.
Doesn't look like Goggy has any damage. I think Riles might not be too happy about that.
Lando also in the back of Joseph on the softs to start this race. Polo also now in the back of Pluto. Polo's used a ton of battery. Pluto saved a ton of his battery. DRS for them. Polo has to stay behind. Jab goes through Ngagi. Jab gets an easy pass. Joseph gets a pass there. Joseph gonna try to go down the inside and not hit Jab, but he hits Goggy. And now the other Alfa Romeo is gonna go through. That's Lando. Goggy gets pushed wide. Aaron's gonna take advantage. Aaron is side by side. Aaron, can he get through on Blue Goggy? Bit of touching again. A lot of touching in this race to start off. Aaron stays ahead. Goggy has to concede the place. Rice Cracker will get the challenge. Goggy goes wide there. DRS with Will and Kostag to Alistair. Polo to Pluto, but the gap to the lead is 2.6.
He's getting a massive lead here.
Going to be crucial for him to keep that. Even if the safety car comes out, that won't be beneficial to his race. DRS still for Polo and Pluto. Polo trying to challenge this. Trying to hang up Pluto to start this race.
Joe lost it slightly.
Back at 13th place. That's important because these guys in front of him are all battling for points. Alfa Romeo, Ferrari.
Rice Cracker right behind Goggy. Doesn't go for the dive.
By the way, in front of that, second place in this race is up for grabs. Pluto having to defend from Polo. Can Polo go for it? No, he can't just yet. Will and Kostag positions stay the same there. Behind that, there will be moves being made. Ricecracker and Gagi. Ricecracker gonna go down the inside. Oh, he hits his teammate! He spun Aaron!
Ooh.
And there's damage. He's got a 5-second penalty from the game for it.
That's weird. I never usually see penalties given by the game for a collision.
That's how severe of a hit it was. Lando now DRS of Jab. Will and Kostak DRS of Alistair. Polo still in DRS of Pluto. Calm out to a 3-second lead though to start this race. Keep in mind though the strategy difference between Pluto and Calm. If Pluto is continuing to go the strategy and there's no safety cars to prevent anything, it'll be Pluto who is going to be faster by the end of this race, but Calm, who's faster right now in this stint because Pluto on the hards, Calm on the mediums, and Polo got also in DRS of Pluto on the mediums as well.
Lando's just behind Jam.
Even Lando on the softs as well. Will behind Kosteg as well. 4th position. 2-3-10s. Polo on Pluto now. Polo using a lot of that battery. Trying to get by this time. He knows he's faster on the mediums, but he's got to pick and choose his battles right here in the back. Will's trying to get by Kosteg. Does Pluto go, or does Polo go on Pluto? Yes, he does. They're going to go wheel to wheel.
Pluto gets a better exit.
Oh, Pluto's going to stay ahead though. Run down to turn 4. Polo
Looks
will
like
have
he might be going
DRS.
for another dive. No, he's too far behind.
No, he's too far back. Closing rate's not enough. Behind that though, Will and Kostag will stay even. Brute gets by, or sorry, Doughboy gets passed by Joe. I think Brute also got by Wingo there.
Is Doughboy in
3.1
the
now for
session?
that
It
lead
looks, like
again.
it looks like Doughboy's ghosted. It won't let me view his game card, so I can't even invite him.
I know a lot of people complained with him about lag, but we'll talk about an internet test after if that is the case. But Toneless running a lonely race. Riles running a lonely race. Sam banking on a safety car as well. Sam having to hope for that for his championship's sake. We don't really talk about the championship this early in the season, but considering yellow flags.
Yellow flags. That's our knocker.
He's gonna duck in behind Joe now. But Jamie, we talk about the championship usually later in the season, but the championship is also important to start the season because, you know, Pluto is out to a 28-point lead over Sam, and we'll just continue to extend that lead with where Pluto is running right now.
Yeah, Pluto is starting to get away from the championship.
Joe Boy, the Ghost of Carl's getting
Polo's
in there.
just
Here's
begun.
Polo and Pluto.
He's going for another dive. Yes, he is.
Late dive. There we go.
Pluto's
Side by
dive.
side. Lando pits in the softs, by the way. Polo trying to gain the traction to turn 3 this time to get the run, but can't do enough from that. Aston Martin is just losing time almost everywhere, though. I think that's a struggle for him to get by Pluto. Not able to do so because of that. Still close for 4th place as well between Alistair, Will Chromac, and Kostag. Also inside the points is Blue Doggy right now.
Polo lost it.
I know he got no clip.
It's gone wide.
Oh, he goes wide. Yeah, you're right. He's
This is
gonna
gonna
still
help
DRS though,
Alistair.
luckily. It will put them ball back in a train, but I meant to say, Blue Doggy, even though he got involved in a collision earlier, he's running in the points. He's not had more than 1 points finish in this league so far.
That was another knock on within 3 seconds.
So that'll be the 3rd penalty that we've seen so far this race. 2nd for track limits, I believe. No, sorry, is that the 1st for track limits? Yes, it is. Yellow flags! That is Toneless. He has spun the back of the field. Doesn't bring out a safety car. Might be damage free. 4 seconds for the lead. Behind that, they're all battling on a train with Pluto. Polo, the first one to try to gain. Very low on battery. Alistair's got more battery. Even Will Chromax got more battery.
Well, he's pretty much used all of his URS here.
Oh,
Oh,
Will!
Will!
Almost ran in the back of Alistair.
This
Late
judge is
braking, had
breaking
to
there.
duck out and dive him.
Alistair may get a move done. He's going for it.
Here we go.
Ever so slightly.
Down the inside. Side by
3 seconds
side,
for Rice.
Ricecracker picks up a time penalty. Alistair goes
so
through.
does Will.
Chromac now is a 3-second. There you go. That is important for the front of this field. So, as we're about the third of the way through, we're gonna have to see, really as to, I guess, if any of these guys can say anything about Com's medium strategy, especially the people on this train like Kostag and Pluto on the hards. Com, by the way, Brennerman, he's yet to win a race in URS. He has won podium previously, but never has won.
Can they just win this then?
And he's also he's got quite a bit of a podium drought too. Can that come to an end today? 4 seconds in front. Big train throughout the field. They're having to manage ERS, manage tires. I don't know if they're too worried about catching Com right now, but they're worried about maybe pulling each other along. Alistair, DRS for him, closest to Pluto. Polo close behind Alistair. Can't make a move yet so far. No other battles
Will's just behind
besides this
as
one in
well.
the field. Everyone's been spread out. Will close to the back again. That is going to allow Kostag to catch up and get in DRS here by turn 3, I think.
Will was
No,
going
not
for
yet.
some late dives.
Alistair, will he go for a late dive on Pluto? He's going to have to hang in. Pluto gives him the space, though. Ducks out. And that's going to lose some time to Com continuously if he continues to duck out like that. But he had to compromise his line for Alistair because Alistair made him think for a moment. Also important for these guys to conserve ERS for sure, even within this battle.
And go
No,
over 3
Polo
seconds.
and Kostag won't be saving much. Yeah, there you go. That's to the back of the field. 14th place for Wingo. Trying to score some points again. Could possibly do so. I know he runs no line, so it's a bit tougher, especially being in one of the slower cars, let alone one of the slowest cars. I have to veer back quickly, but the battle heating up between Will and Polo. How about you focus on that?
Yep. Will's just a bit... It's very close. He might be able to get a dive into turn 1. Depends how close it is. Looks like Com may just be running away with this. Can't catch up with him because of all his battling. But Will's just behind Polo. No, he's too far back, I reckon. Actually, wait. Oh, Alistair, no, he looks. That's Gully Pin. I wonder if you have wind damage. It's close, very close, Leighton. Polo is only... Everyone is massive ERS compared to Polo and Kostag. They may be a bit screwed there.
That will have to be saved in the pit stops at least at that
Yeah.
time because
Yeah,
you
yeah,
conserve ERS by pitting. So I think the
Polo's using
Goggy
the
one,
rest of the
you
ERS.
mentioned, Goggy pitting.
Yeah.
I think that might be a scheduled pit stop because he's going to the hards. We should start to see the guys on medium start to pit here soon. That'll be crucial toward the race because you know what? I mean, for them, as Brute goes by Doughboy, but for them, they're going to have to try something different than Com. They're going to have to try everything they can, pace-wise, to gain to him. I mean, the gap is 4.7. Everything is really swapped right there, I guess you could say, to the point where Com has just got such a big lead to where guys are going to have to work together to gain on him or pull each other along. And it's a matter of if Alistair's willing to work with that. And even with Alistair's 6 seconds of penalties, he'd still be in the points, 7th, but he wouldn't be on the podium right now. Undercuts may be something we'll watch out for, too. Here we go.
Ooh,
Turn 1.
you close enough?
Will we see a move to the outside?
No,
Pluto
it's
covers
backing
the
out
inside.
slightly.
Is Pluto going to go wide? Is Alistair
Go for the
switching
switch.
back? Alistair is switching back. There you go. Now, going to try to switch back again at turn 2. Now has
that's a
a
good
good
exit.
chance on the run down to turn 3. Good overtake use by Alistair. Deploying the battery. Now going to be wheel to wheel on turn 4. This is where we saw championships be decided. But Pluto and Alistair keep it wheel to wheel. Can Alistair go ahead? Alistair makes contact a little bit. Side by side in the S section now. Pluto backs off, but Alistair goes ahead.
It's now a 5-second gap for Com.
Now there was a little bit of touching, but very smart racing them with those two this time to keep it on the track, keep it going, and keep pulling along now. I know they lost time from it, like you said, but at least they're able to pull each other along. I did lose some time, but now cars toe to toe. Aaron pits. He goes on hards. Sam is with Ngagi.
Aaron's on the
Aaron goes on
softs.
softs. Oh, never mind. He was on hards. Never mind. Thought it was a used
I
set.
got more wing damage.
There you go. That may be why. Will in the back of Polo now. Polo goes wide. Here's Will trying to make a move. Gonna be side by side. Lucky enough not to make contact there, especially with deploying the ERS right out of the corner for Will. Trying to be careful on traction. But the best ERS out of anybody in this train is Alistair.
I'm surprised Com hasn't got a lot more.
Yeah, Com's very low. He's been using it from the lead. I mean, you have something happen to Com, like a slide or a spin. I mean, he's going to be challenged easily on that battery. He's pretty even with these guys.
Obviously, Polo's still
Anything
very
can happen.
low.
Will again goes wide, and that will allow Kostag to challenge. Kostag might switch this
right
back.
behind him. He's going for the overtake.
There you go. Pulling alongside, Kostag gonna go through. Those many mistakes of Will going wide at turn 1, having to avoid running in the back of somebody is really not paid off. Kostag staying ahead though. Kostag up to 5th place. Kostag, I must say, you know, we saw last season in this race quite a few dives. He took fastest lap last season in this race, but I must say last season wasn't the best of seasons for him, but this season he's really improved throughout the season. I must say, even though he's improved a lot throughout the season, he may set himself up for championship contention if anything happens to Pluto throughout the season. I mean, Pluto's been really consistent right now, but when is that going to end? That's the question, and if it does end soon, Kostag, you know, he's took a podium so far this season once. He could even take a win, possibly Kostag could. He's never won. He's only took 2 podiums, and last season, we didn't see this out of him. We saw him a lot in the midfield. He's more at the front now and able to be within the picture of the leaders. So I think that's the good thing for him. And he's able to see what it's like to race up front now. And Will, who cost himself a little bit, Burning Man, he cost himself by... Oh, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Pit stops.
Alistair and Polo.
Alistair, Polo, undercuts. And that'll be an undercut at Will. However, Pluto and Kostag on those hards will extend. Now, if this is a big undercut for Alistair and Polo, keep in mind, this track, the undercut is very powerful. If this is an attempt at an undercut between the two, I have to sort of question. They got to do really well in the outlaps on the hards. Not only do they have to do really well in the outlaps, but Racecracker pits too. But they also have to try something different to try to gain on Com for the lead. But here's out of the pits, Polo on very cold hards with Brute behind him. Brute's going to pull alongside in the Haas. Alistair trying to warm up some temperature. Polo trying to cover. Polo on the inside. Brute on the far outside. Polo trying to gain temperature into the tires, but can't gain enough temperature to hold off Brute. There's a yellow flag. That's a Ferrari. Oh, spin! There's a spin.
Oh,
that's a Joe right in front of Polo and Alistair. The spin was for Aaron. You're correct, though. He's gonna get lapped now in the Ferrari on softs. But I mentioned them going farther than Com. They have to. They're on hards. But what Will did may have costed him in comparison to the two who just pitted. You're right. So he has to cover that off. Does Will pit too? Will does cover this off, so that's good for him. Will Cromack 5 second. So, you know, that's another thing that costs him too. He sped in the pit lane. He has the 3-second time penalty. He's had to avoid running in the back of a couple of cars, and late braking at turn 1 has caused him to almost run in the back of a couple of cars, and he's had to avoid it. Got passed by Kostag. Now this may allow the undercut for Alistair. Com coming out of the pit lane now. He'll be far ahead. Tires will have to be warmed up to temperature, so the gap could be gained on when it comes to the undercut. Here's Brute challenging Alistair. Going a long way in the hards. Will there be 3 wide? Oh, here comes Will out of the pits, side by side with Brute. Alistair goes ahead of Will. Polo still behind. Polo had to avoid Will. Polo loses a ton of time.
So he gets a 3
Joe
second.
now with a 3-second. Doughboy pits as well. Com, who pitted, is now 6 seconds out of Alistair. We'll have to see what the gap is now between Pluto and Kostag when they come out to pit. Pluto and Kostag are going to gain toward Com. They're going to be on the mediums, so they're going to have a tire advantage. Calm's still trying to warm up the tires. The gap is now 6.0, 5.0. As Calm continues to warm up the tires, he will be caught. But a safety car would be something that would really hurt his race right now, Calm. Everybody still left in this race. Riles goes by Doughboy. Riles behind Rice Cracker.
No, I don't reckon there's going to be a safety car.
It could be. Front runners still staying out. Kostek dives in early for the mediums. He got it stopped in time. Aaron goes for the fastest lap. He steals the point away from anyone else who could take it inside the top 10. Brute yet to pit as well. Brute could be pitting soon. Joseph could be pitting soon. Kostek pits. We'll see where Kostek comes out in comparison. The mediums are a lot more, much more easier to warm up, and he'll be faster than the guys on hards. Might not. He's gonna be undercutted, but how's the overcut gonna work in comparison to Alistair? Calm goes by Kostek. Kostek stays ahead of Alistair for the time being. What's it gonna be like out of the pit lane here, though? Alistair, full speed, got Brute pulling along with him. Joe also in Wingo. 1.8 between Alistair and Kostek. So Alistair, not Alistair, Kostek advantage. The gap was 5 seconds. Now it's 3.6 to Calm, and he's going to continue to gain like this with the medium tires. Here's Joe and Wingo for 11th place. Joe around the outside. Wingo gives it up very easily, and Rice Cracker takes the fastest lap back in the other Ferrari. Pluto, by the way, current leader of this race. Calm, the net leader. Let me point out the gap between Calm and Pluto, 19 seconds. The gap between Kostek and Pluto, 23 seconds. Pluto should be pitting this time to cover off Kostek. We'll see if that's the case or not.
Yep, he's pitting.
Pluto is in.
Is Jab coming in?
Chat, not many of you watching, but hey, predictions here, because what's going to happen for Pluto? He gets it in, not speeding, was able to avoid what Will was able to do. Jab pits, Joseph stays out. Joseph could be banking on a safety car or going soft late. We'll see what Pluto does here, though. Pluto, mediums. Jab, surely mediums in the Haas. As Pluto comes out of the pits, he's going to be passed by Calm. Now the battle will be between Kostek and Alistair. We have a yellow flag, by the way. That's Brute out of the final corner. Kostek and Alistair have now got close. That gap has quite changed. Pluto's got ahead. Here's Alistair diving down the inside, late on the brakes. There's contact! Sideways! And Alistair goes ahead. Late dive. DRS now applied. He's got the advantage now on Kostek. Kostek surely got to be furious. Dives back down the inside, gives him a tap.
He's went wide.
And Alistair goes off. But Alistair stays ahead, even though he's in the hard tires. Jab also warming up his tires on the mediums behind Polo. He's gained time on Polo while Polo's lost out. Oh, you're right. There's contact. Touching again. Both banging off one another. Another slam. Kostek off the track. He slides. Oh, right on the curb. That's going to lose you time. Jab also within DRS of Polo with the time being. That's for a points position. Pluto, by the way, gaining on Calm. That gap was 5 seconds. Now it's 4. The mediums still haven't warmed themselves up a little bit. 4.2. Alistair now to DRS. Alistair, with 6 seconds of penalties, would finish this race down in 8th. But still good points for him because that'd be his best finish so far. So can't really bank much on a safety car. Now it's up for Joe and Wingo to do so. Even though they're 10th and 11th. Does Joe go softs? He goes mediums. So Joe F1 goes to the mediums. There's a yellow flag for Rice Cracker, by the way. Here's Kostek and Alistair. Behind that, Jab goes by Polo God. What's it going to be like coming out of the pits now for Joseph? Joseph out of Blue Goggy. QBR20 Joseph and LLRT Wingo pit. QBR20 Joseph serving the 5-second penalty he got. Now Polo behind Jab. 4/10 that gap. Here's the gap for what could be a battle for the lead or a battle for the second place and the podium spots. Kostek with the 5-second penalty, by the way. Or, no, sorry, with the 6 seconds of penalties from Alistair, would have the position right now. Keep in mind, Jab would also gain 2 from Will's 8 seconds of penalties, and Alistair 6 seconds. Now we got a yellow flag at turn 1. That is Brute Gorgon, who's off. turn 2 now, that is. So, everybody, although it's been a race full of spins, trouble, and trying to keep it on the track with a couple people throughout the midfield, which is why we see a lot of people back there and 2 cars a lap down, really. The thing I noticed and the thing I want to mention, the fact that we still have everybody still left running in this race.
Oh. What was that? Was that
Root's off. He
Root?
might have rear wing
Yeah.
damage now. I may have jinxed that, but who knows.
That doesn't seem like it.
3.5 now the lead. Look at the gap being put down. He's also... Pluto is. He's also pulling Kostag and Alistair along with him.
Pretty
Another
rough
yellow
again.
flag for Brute. Jab setting the fastest lap on the mediums. Jab going fast. Kostag trying to get back by Alistair. Kostag touches Alistair.
Race around.
Another yellow flag for him. He's going to lose more spots too. He's on the newer softs. Here's Kostag now for 3rd place in this race. On track. Kostag gonna dive it. Whoa! They almost make contact. He has to clip the inside curb to avoid spinning himself. Now Jab is close up to Will. And this will be an advantage for Jab to try to gain on the podium. Jab had the podium taken away last season in this race for contact with other drivers. Late race. Brute is now off.
Out.
That might be an intentional retirement.
Don't pause everything, right?
Very much off. Brute is out of this race.
5 seconds for race.
Race Cracker a 5 second. Race Cracker could be coming to retire or go setting the fastest lap. So we do have our first retirement in this race.
Yes, change his tyres to halved. I think he's still going.
There you go. Jab also behind Will. Kostag on Alistair. Yellow flags. That might be Sam.
I
That
think
is
it
Sam.
Yeah.
Trouble for the guy who's second in the championship. That's big.
That gap between Pluto and Com is starting to come down quite a bit.
Four tenths. Kostag and Alistair. Alistair losing time to Pluto. Jab gaining time on Will. All this important for their races. Ryle's also on Sam. The gap now between Pluto and Com under 3 seconds.
This definitely helps that Kostag is battling than Alistair.
Third place still up for grabs, but Kostag, would have that with Alistair's 6 seconds of penalties heading into this race. Alistair would be put back to 6th, I believe, with the gap he's gained over Polo. There's a little look at penalties. Also, if Com has any warnings, Burning Man, you might want to check that.
Yep.
That could be important for the gap between the lead because now it's under 3 seconds.
He has 1 warning. And Pluto has none.
There you go. So, Com could even use up a warning, and I think Pluto can too.
And Kostag's also got
Maybe.
1 warning.
Aaron Ocon is lagged out of the session. He'll need another invite. Jab close to Will again. Kostag close to Alistair. Alistair losing time now. Gap between Jab and Will is also close between one another. 3 tenths. Gap is close in front of that. Here we go. 3rd place in this race on track.
Kostag's going for a
Pluto gains on
dive.
Com. Kostag gains on Alistair and will go by him
Ooh,
by turn
Alistair's
1.
rammed into the back of him. Well, not like that.
Will and Jab trade spots. Joseph and Lando trade spots. Joseph breezes past. Alistair trying to gain back at this. Kostag's got the spot
going
though.
for the dive.
Alistair dives!
Ooh, that's a very
Oh,
late
he gets
dive.
into him! Wow! Pushes him wide!
Kostag will definitely not be happy about that.
He's gonna have to go challenge it back. He's losing time to Pluto. And Jab's also gaining time on him for what is the net podium. Can Jab steal a first podium late in this race? That may be what seals the deal. If there's anything to gain from it. Will and Jab are close. Lando and Joseph are close. DBR20 Joseph gets by Wingo. Wingo also trying to challenge back at this. In the run down to turn 4. Wingo gaining. Both have penalties. Both trying to run a nice race. Waiting for a safety car to happen. Riles and Sam also on those cusp of points there. 18 seconds back from Gagi. Kostag and Alistair are also close again for this spot. The gap between Pluto and Com, though, 2.3. That gap is coming down.
Ooh, that's someone around. I think it's Joe. Yep, Joe's around.
And he may have collided with Wingo.
Looks like it, yeah.
Both of them have. Also a spin in the back. That was someone else. Tonlos goes by. Again, close on the front straight. Again, Kostag, Alistair close once again. You know Kostag's not going to be happy about this. Is he going to go for a dive?
No. He may go for the dive in the next bit. He's got a way better.
Well, he's got closer now.
Yep, he's got a way better.
Switch back possibly. Here we go. Right side, actually. Or sorry, left side. Gonna pull alongside. Alistair gonna have the inside line. Alistair could run this wide. Or Kostag side by side. They both turn in on each other. And now Aaron gets a penalty. Kostag goes ahead finally. He was probably happy about that. He's cheering. Punch in the air. He needed that. But does Alistair challenge us back? We got yellow flags. Alistair taps Kostag again. Riles goes by Sam as well. Is Alistair going to challenge us into turn 9 and 10? Yes, he does. He hits the rear.
This could not
Riles
end well.
by Sam. Alistair trying to go back by.
It's helping Pluto to catch up with Com, though. Goes up for the pen.
Joseph. There you go. Alistair down the inside. Oh, they touch again. Kostag's really not going to be happy now. I think Alistair giving the spot back now. Or actually going to go side by side up the hill. Touch again.
Let's go for the switchback.
This is hurting their chance for a podium. Both their chances for anything. Jab now gaining. He's almost within DRS. Pluto is under 2 seconds. Oh, Kostag backs out for the DRS. A little tactic there. Aaron needs an invite back, by the way, as well. Now it's allowed Jab to be within a second. Not within DRS yet. Here's Kostag again. Gonna go through. Oh, Alistair blocks him on the street, and Kostag's in the wall.
Let's Kostag got wing damage.
Kostag dives down the inside.
I think Kostag just about got away with that. I don't see any wing damage.
I have to say, this is getting ridiculous between these two. It's just back and forth. Kostag diving back down the inside. He might dive bomb him. Alistair trying to cover it up. Kostag makes contact. He's around. Right in the path of Jab.
3 second.
And Jab got involved. Jab is off. Jab, an innocent bystander, and Kostag and Alistair's mess.
Very controversial.
That's unfortunate. Polo God goes by. Joseph now for a position. I must say, that's just got ridiculous between them. Both them banging each other constantly, back and forth. I mean, that's not racing. I cannot vouch for that enough. But the lead, under a second for a moment.
Pluto's almost in DRS.
That car Wingo's also seeing it. You're right.
This has helped Pluto massively with them two battling.
Trying for a first win, trying to hang on. Alistair now in the back of Will. Alistair spins!
Ooh,
Alistair's got damage!
That's his whole wing gone.
And that's maybe a chance for a points finish gone.
Yeah.
Lando gone to softs by the end of this race. 1.2 for Pluto.
I think he just about keeps in the points because of Gogi.
And Lando, yeah. With his 6th second, yep. That'll be a position for Gagi to possibly gain. Alistair trying to hang it out with no front wing so far. A Ferrari spins. Alistair pits. Pluto just shy of DRS again. Jab now on Polo. Jab trying to gain.
Alistair's pitted. I think
now
that's his points over.
3-second penalty. You're right about that. We'll see. He might be around the range of Riles and Sam and Lando. 1.3 now for the lead. Jab close to Polo. And with the penalties, by the way, let's not forget to mention this. If Kostag has a car within 3 seconds of him, it could possibly be a chance for points right there, even if a post-race penalty comes their way. It's
another yellow
important.
flag.
Ferrari spins again. Alistair is going to duck behind Sam.
That's
for a
just points
position.
over.
I'm sorry, but I mean, I know who I feel like to blame more in that. I don't feel like I will blame both them, but both them, they got ridiculous with that, going back and forth, pushing each other all the way. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Pluto's lost a bit of time to come.
And keep in mind, Burning Man, before this race, Alistair entered with 11 penalty points, 1 shy of a qualifying ban, and a few away from a race ban in the first couple of races.
And they just tip him over
Alistair
the edge.
goes by Sam. Alistair trying to run the far outside. Sam goes wide. Sam concedes the place to Doughboy and Alistair. Out of that, Jab now on Polo. Jab trying to gain back the lost ground. Unfortunate for Jab, because I know he mentions all the time, I feel like Nico Hulkenberg in this league, I can't get a podium. Well, he had a chance for a podium right there with the Kostag and Alistair. Now that could be fading away if only he can gain back the time he lost. Unlikely with 5 laps to go. But with 5 laps to go, the battle for the lead still heats up. That's a Mercedes, a QBR20 Joseph around again. Polo and Jab, 4/10.
Pluto's just
Joseph
there.
behind this. Gagi is not far off a Joseph penalty, by the way. That's important to note. You're right. 1.1 for this
Getting
championship
close.
leader, trying to win 3 in a row. Nobody in URS, Burning Man, nobody has won 3 in a row.
It's going to take a lot for him to do it. Almost
Gonna
he
have to
needs
overtake
that
Tom. He's gonna
DRS
have
as
to
fast as possible.
He's pushing his butt off to gain. He's only
Oh.
close within a 10th. Yellow
That's,
flags. That's a
Aaron Ocon.
Ferrari. There you go. He's a lap down, so that won't matter. But can Pluto get himself within DRS this time? I think he just barely got in it. 9/10 right there.
Yeah, he's just in it.
Just might be in it. Yes, he did.
This is going to help
This is important for his race. Calm has seen a challenge for the first time this race since the beginning. Pluto, game on. 8/10.
They're trying to save his ERS there.
Will is back on Kostag for on-track podium. Jab is getting challenged from Polo and Joseph, but for the time being, the lead is 8/10. Tom is going to have to do everything he can to keep the lead and defend for his life. Aaron goes by Rice Cracker, who goes for a pit stop, trying to take away another fast lap point. But Pluto, 9/10 for him. A 10th gain in that first sector, so you know he's improving on his lap times.
This may go down to the
Will
last lap.
Cromack, it may. Will Cromack and Kostag also a battle for an on-track podium. If they continue to battle, that may allow Jab within the 3 seconds that he needs. Pluto's going to have DRS now again down to turn 11. With 4 laps to go. Calm is hanging on for a first win. Pluto hanging on for a league record of 3 in a row. By the way, where we go to next, Pluto won his first ever league race in the US there. Or first ever URS race, I should say. There at Singapore. 9/10 again. Pluto just off the sector times. He's not losing any time really much at all.
Both using ERS.
The gap is 9/10 now. He's gained a little bit more compared to last time, but not a whole lot. He's going to need a lot more to get within the gap he needs.
It's very
Fast by,
close.
Toneless lags out. Here's Pluto and Calm, 8/10 again. DRS in the straight. Calm just barely lower on the battery though. 6/10 now. Pluto's gaining with a lot of straight line speed from the Haas. He's closing. Will on Kostag. Will backs off of that one. Joseph trying on Polo. Joe F1 might go for a dive. Can't do it. Pluto also locks up, I believe, there at turn 4, causing him to lose a little bit of time to Calm.
It's
The
not
gap was
long
4/10,
left.
now it's 5. He's still gaining on his sector times. Pluto is still going fast on these mediums. Pluto has really come alive. Alistair also gets by Riles.
Oh, wing goes around.
Alistair sets the fastest lap, trying to gain an extra point. Will Cromack goes wide for 4th place, losing time. Pluto may have just lost time there to turn 10. Tom may have gained it back. 6/10 now. Here comes Pluto gaining it even more back. 5/10. Pluto trying everything he can to win 3 in a row and extend that championship lead even more. He's gonna already do it anyway. But considering the fact we got a
Mercedes
crash,
retired.
or no, sorry, no, we don't got a crash. We got a retirement in the pit lane. That's Sam.
And Ocon's also
Second place man in the championship. I think may have got a puncture on 24 lap mediums. He's out of this race. Yellow flags will cover the track, but now 5/10 between Pluto and Calm. Our second retirement to this race.
This is going to the last lap.
In May, a 10th loss to his last lap. Pluto, Calm trying to defend Pluto now. 3/10 that gap. Pluto's gonna have to go for a dive if he wants to get this. Behind that, Will and Kostag battle. Can Will go by? He's gonna have to duck behind and stay behind. Calm having to defend first win. Calm stays ahead with 2 laps to go. Wingo retires in the pit lane. That's
goes
his
out.
second retirement in the pit lane.
And Ocon also spun again.
Calm, holding this lead, 5/10 now.
I reckon Con may just get this.
6/10. Rice Cracker sets fastest lap now. Polo and Joseph also battle behind. But the battle is for the lead. The battle for a first winner. The battle for 3 in a row. A spinner again. That's Aaron Ocon.
I'm surprised Aaron hasn't done his pits with tyre.
I mean, he's dedicated to finish. He wants that fastest lap. He's on 9 lap softs. I think he's got a puncture. But now we come to the last lap. Last time. Last chance for Pluto. Will is also behind Kostag. Pluto using a ton of DRS. DRS engaged as well. Here he comes on Calm. Is this going to be the last lap move we were expecting? Can he get there in time? He's close enough. Can he do this?
Oh.
Put it on the left side. Calm has to defend. Calm trying to defend, hanging on the inside line.
Oh.
Side by side. Calm stays ahead. Now into turn 4. Pluto's got DRS, more ERS to use. Can't get close enough. Calm hanging on to the lead, having to defend for his life, having to defend for another podium finish, another chance at a first win, which he could get today. 4/10 that gap. Lap car in front who could award him some DRS. That's toneless. I don't think Calm will get it though.
He doesn't get DRS.
Pluto, a little bit of an arc, a little bit of a wide entry at turn 10. That may have sealed the deal.
I think Com's got it.
5/10 though, 4/10. Pluto closing. He's got a lot of straight line speed. This still ain't over. Behind that, Kostag and Will for a podium. Kostag might get it if he can keep this on track and keep this off penalties. 6/10 now that gap. Toneless pulling out of the way. 5/10, 6/10. The Mercedes of Florian Foley won the opening race as a reserve. This time, the full-time driver of Calm is going to come out of the final corner. Can he hang on? Yes, he can. He will see the checker flag first and become a race winner. Calm wins the Bahrain Grand Prix, holding off Ludo. Behind that, for a podium finish, Kostag will hang on over Will. Kostag, with the amount of contact he had with Alistair, he's able to hang on. Jab misses out just barely again. Polo hangs on for a top 5. Joseph hangs on for another points finish. Goggy hasn't seen the points since Abu Dhabi Season 1. Blue Goggy, finally, in his return, will come back, score a second points finish, ahead of Lando, ahead of Alistair, and then ahead of the rest of the people who complete this race. Both Alfa Romeos see the points. That's a lovely sight for them.
That's close.
Another close race victory.
Does Alistair just
Bahrain
keep
at the front of this field.
Just 2 seconds. Alistair just keeps points.
I know, just barely. But I wonder if something will come his way post-race or not.
Maybe.
You have to mention the whole incident with, you know, him and
With all the banging. Could be an off a pen.
of all the banging, right? Exactly. Joe finishes race. 3 retirements, not too bad. 2 were people giving up, I think, and actually, I think all of them were people giving up. So there you go. That's that.
Yeah,
Get our podium finishers in here now. Wow. Calm finally takes her first win. And let me grab Kostag. I think I just missed out on Kostag getting the invite to him in time. Hello. Good to have you up here again. Deserved it. Alright, make sure you guys include your audio. That is your Bahrain Grand Prix. Com scores over, by the way. He scores over 25 points. That's the most points we've seen. Single race. How about that? I'll have to make sure we make note of that. Alright. Here we are. Just grab the results. Race Cracker ends up getting the fastest lap as well. Let's conduct interviews now. Let's get it out of the way. Kostag, I know you had mentioned about being on the podium. You had a lot of banging with Alistair. I know you're pretty frustrated about that. I think you have every right to be. I sort of wonder, especially for someone like Alistair, you know, in your battle with him. He comes into this race with 6 seconds of penalties, very close to a qualifying ban and a race ban on penalty points. Did you think there was a need for him to be fighting you that hard? And how were you able to hold on to the podium like that?
Alright, so first of all, I'm frustrated I can't swear on stream. Second of all, I mean, I don't fault him for battling, right? Racing, I really couldn't care less about battling. It would have been a fun battle. But when you're like half a step away from a race one, which he's probably getting at this point, and you drive like that, when I'm clearly faster than you, alright? I get past you about 2-3 times, and then you come diving in up the inside from like 200 meters back. What? I don't understand it, man. It's so annoying. Like, I get it. You wanna race, I wanna race as well. We can both have fun. But what is that? What? It's a joke. Into every corner, he would either bump me when I go past him eventually, or he would try and dive it from 100 meters back. Like, it's a joke. It's ridiculous. Like, he's probably getting a race ban, which I'm happy about, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I also have to kind of consider asking as well, you know, you had a lot of other battles throughout the field. You got a lot of points, I believe, in the sprint as well, so that definitely covered it a bit. Regarding your other battles and regarding the battles compared to Alistair, how would you kind of go over the race today when reflecting back on it, besides that, of course?
I think quali was alright. We take quali. The sprint went pretty well. We had a nice battle with Pluto. The pace was alright for both of us. I think I could have gotten if it was laying out a lap or two, but it is what it is. I made a few mistakes, but it's okay. Then on the start, I think there was a bit of desync because some people were starting way late and some others were getting like crazy starts, but we're gonna have to look into that a bit. The hard stint was a bit meh. I had really bad sound glitch as well, but that's not an excuse. It was pretty meh. But then on the mediums, I think I had really good pace. Even sitting behind Alistair at some point, we were keeping up with Pluto, and at some point I was a bit faster. So I think if he didn't do all the clownery he did at that race, I think I would have been right with Pluto for a 3-way fight for the end, for the win, but yeah, a bit disappointing. I just kind of gave up after he spun. It was a bit frustrating.
I know it might not matter too much to you, but you now take second place over in the championship, and you're the next one to gain on Pluto. Are you ready to take that fight now? I know you didn't lose too many points to Pluto, but is it worth it? Are you willing to take the fight? What's going to happen in these next coming races for you?
Yeah, obviously. I mean, second, I think by a big margin, but still second. So the fight is there. There's plenty of races to go. Singapore's coming up as well, which is, if not my fastest, maybe second, third fastest track. So it's going to be a good battle there, and it's going to be a good battle in general for the championship. I'm a bit far back, but it's alright. We can crawl back up. So yeah,
that's all from me. Congratulations on the podium.
Thank you.
And Burnham, man, you have any questions for Kostag?
Not really. You just covered what I was going to ask about Alistair.
Well,
I just want to hear chaos. Not gonna lie.
You want to hear chaos? You like that? You like that? Yeah, with Alistair. Jesus
If you
Christ.
wanted to hear chaos, yeah, you should have been in the
L
party.
commentator.
I'm trying to concentrate in this battle for Pluto, and all I hear every 5 seconds is fucking twat. Like,
hey, don't
jarring, man.
don't
Like,
get us in a scene, yeah?
it distracts me, and then I go deep into a corner. I'm like, fuck's sake.
I mean, it's true. He was ramming up the rear end like into every other corner. It was so bad. I've never seen anyone battle this bad before. Yeah. Anyway, reminded of the very old doggy, but like on steroids, bro. Old doggy, but on steroids. Jesus Christ.
And we just thought you couldn't get away from it. Anyway, congratulations, Kostag.
Thank you.
Burning Man, how about you go tackle our second place finisher, Pluto?
Well, obviously we saw that Com started getting away quite hard while Alistair was constantly battling you. And like all those battles were slowing you down quite a bit. But how did you feel once you realised you could get Com?
I always knew there was a fight back at some point, because I knew that the mediums were supposed to be a lot faster at the end of the race. But it was a case of trying not to let the medium weights get away from me. I couldn't afford Com. Com was way too fast. But yeah, it was just a case of keeping Polar behind so he didn't get a gap on me. So I didn't have to overtake him, and keeping Alistair behind. The same reason.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Don't think so.
I have to ask Pluto. By the way, congratulations on the podium.
Okay.
Was there any thought of maybe a dive at turn one on the inside? Or do you think that would have changed things, or were you just kind of like playing it easy, thinking, all right, I don't want to spin myself or anything stupid here? I mean, what was the thought on that last lap?
Well, Tom covered off the inside quite well. He defended perfectly, so there wouldn't really be anything I'd do differently, and I wouldn't have wanted to lock up and smash into the side of him, giving wing damage, because that just leaves a bad taste in the mouth.
We head to Singapore next week, and you extend your championship lead even more. Are you happy to go to Singapore, a place where you took your first win in this league?
Yes. It's a nice track.
And how do you think you'll do there?
I'm hoping for a podium again, because I don't want that podium streak to go. But yeah, I really enjoy it. I hope it rains, actually. Rain at Singapore is really fun.
Did in season 1 a little bit, so. And yeah, you mentioned that podium streak, by the way. 6 podiums you and Sam had consecutively at one point in season 1. You're right now in 4, so we'll see what happens there. Congratulations on the podium again. Com, a race winner.
Yes.
Another first-time winner. Congratulations, firstly. I have to ask, you saw Pluto gaining. What did you have to do to defend that in order to win your first race here?
It was a case of keeping calm and composed. Because I know the first stint I would have been fine. Because I know Alistair was battling Pluto quite hard. And I had like a 6-second gap. But I knew that he'd be able to catch up on the mediums towards the end, because I think that is the better strategy. But I think, towards the end, I think there was like a cut-off point from when Pluto was catching up quick, and then he couldn't catch up anymore as quick as he could, and then I managed to get away. There was obviously the overtake opportunity, which I planted my car in the middle and I gave him the space, and I just defended it well. But yeah.
When you saw you had the big lead, 4 or 5 seconds out in front, did you think you were ever going to be caught because of how much they were battling behind you? Or was it just a matter of, if I'm going to be caught, it's going to be very late?
I didn't think he'd be within a second. I knew he'd be he'd maybe cut it down to 2-3 seconds by the end, but I didn't think we would be battling right till the last corner. So he did well on that ball.
And this is your second podium now, but your first win.
Yes.
I have to ask, everything that happened last season with you, I mean, obviously you had the one podium, but everything else besides that was, I would probably argue a bit borderline. A lot of unluckiness, a lot of races that didn't go your way. Is this necessarily payback for this, and are we going to see, or payback for that, and are we going to see a stretch of races where you can fight at the front continuously like you have in the past 2?
The car that I've been given in the last 2 seasons, yeah, I've enjoyed them, but it's just been my lack of focus at times that has cost me a lot. I'll either just spin out randomly, or I'll maybe hit someone. Maybe I won't even defend as well at times. But last week I was very confident of getting at least a podium, but the wet pace was just not there whatsoever. And then this week, obviously, I qualified P6, and then I got P4 in the sprint, which I thought, okay, maybe I can do something here. Because I've got quick guys in front of me, but I got a really good start. And then, yeah, I just kind of got away from the legs. I know Alistair, he would have had, in the back of my mind, Alistair had a 6-second pen anyway, so I knew I didn't really have to, like, catch him ridiculously fast when he was in front of me, but he spun anyway, so I was calm and just composed during the whole race.
Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Burning Man, any questions for Com?
No, just congrats on being a first-time winner.
Thank you.
There you go, yeah. Bahrain has always had first-time winners under the lights. I don't know what it is. It's been three races here, 3 first-time winners. So there you go. Anyway, now we head to Singapore next week for round 5. Throughout the month of August, we're able to see a Mercedes and a Haas. Both those teams win. Pluto on the podium in every race. A crazy start to the season. And you know what? Iffy attendance from some full-time drivers, but I think with holidays kind of dying down, everything else with that, I think we'll start to see more attendance from the full-time drivers. I believe Foley returns next week. He won in his only start of the season so far, so we'll have to see how that goes. We'll have to see how everything goes. Thank you, Burning Man, for joining me today. I'm glad to have you. Glad to have everyone else join us for the coverage, and we will catch you next week, Singapore, 12 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. UK, for the action next week. But until then, goodbye.